Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Cha-cha-cha. What's up, Pa? Your hoopers. Your ma dukes are pot. The new scoop, the raisin in the sun. Brother try to rally up, then daily tally for some room. Bird taking double decking, rubber necking in my tune. Check it out, Joe. I smell like
Welcome to week 12 of the Tonto's Demise podcast. I'm Detonators, Tonto Bowl 6 champ, sitting with
Matt Delling, Tonto Bowl 1 and 3 champion.
Craig, Tonto Bowl 2, 8, 9, and 13 champion.
Judd, Tonto Bowl 14, 15,
This is 15 this year.
13.
12.
12? 12. I was in between. That's right. Yeah, 12 champion.
I am the runner-up of Tonto Bowl 12.
I don't know what runner-ups I am. So many.
All of them, I think.
Yeah, all of them except for
Brian's.
and the ones that you won. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because you can't run up the ones you win.
I wish I
Actually
could
did.
have.
He
I'd
actually
collect
did
both
on
money.
that one.
Hmm?
He actually did on that one. That was real weird.
It was, yeah.
On number one.
It was when I was the ambiguously gay duo. Joking, he never made it.
All right, so we're sitting here in Juts. I guess this would be your dining room.
This is my dining room.
Yeah, and drinking some lovely.
Can't
Well,
do
first
that.
Vince's Blend coffee, and also Delling. What is the beer we're drinking?
This is from Fagley's Brewworks in Allentown. It's a burble. I've been drinking 2 months already. Bourbon Barrel Rude Elf's Reserve. It's almost like a tongue twister.
That's right.
This is what Kevin Bean missed out on, and I have to say it is quite delicious.
There wouldn't have been enough for Kevin.
No.
No.
We would have come up like a little bit short.
Like, oh, Kevin, you got to go.
Yeah. Well, no, we would have.
Awkward.
I would have poured a little bit in and then like went in the kitchen and pushed poured the apple juice in there and mixed it real quick. And be like, this has a really delightful apple flavor. Like everybody would be like, yeah, it does, yeah.
He would have liked that probably.
He probably would have.
I'm sure if Jay was here, Brian would probably share his glass with him.
Oh,
yes.
we would go halvesies. Although he doesn't really.
If you and Jay played in the Tonto Bowl together against each other, would you like call it a draw?
We Delling and I discussed this already. We already planned it out. We would both bench all of our players. And just like, on the side, just like tally it up for fun, but like it wouldn't really matter because we'd be Tonto co-champions.
I would lose my mind. I would have a conniption fit.
If it happens, I'm definitely going to do that all the way up until like 12:59.
I wouldn't play next year. So that would kick me out. I'd be like, I'm not playing with you pussies.
Delling, how many times have you threatened to quit the league
Like twice.
this year?
Today. I only ever seriously contemplated it once. Maybe.
Okay. Who caused that?
Probably Craig.
Probably Craig.
It's Craig.
At least I'm sitting between you two. I'll be like the buffer zone. And obviously, you guys are playing each other this week. Huge matchup. Lots of implications. We'll get to that later. Do you want to have any first starting words about this matchup to get things kicked off? Craig, Delling? They're just staring at each other. It's a little bit awkward, but
Good luck, buddy. Buddy.
I don't think you meant that, but okay.
Good luck, friend.
Ooh. Really, really tense.
If you win, I'll return your Greg Jeffries rookie card that I threw out your window when you were your kids. And you had a full set of Fleer.
You mean if you win or if he wins?
If he wins, you think if I win, I'm going to give that back? Heck no, that thing's priceless.
Okay, fair enough.
Greg Jeffries. Pay for the Mets.
I know who he played for. The Phillies.
Did he play for the Phillies?
Later on.
I doubt it. I don't know why.
Look it up,
I don't know
Jut.
why I doubt it, but I just feel like you don't know much about baseball.
Look it up, Jet.
I'm on it.
You're on it?
I'm about to.
Look it up, Jet.
That's what I was born to do.
I don't have Greg Jeffries.
It was his 1988 Fleer rookie card,
It was.
and
Made the set.
it disappeared, and I don't know where it was. And then I think we found it outside. Like, how did
find it outside.
how the hell did this get out my window?
I swear I didn't throw it out.
There's a screen in my window. How did this get outside? I didn't throw it outside.
Okay, Jet, we've got some clarification here.
From 1995 to 1998, Greg Jeffries played for the Philadelphia Phillies.
And I rest my case. I was a huge Phillies fan. Huge Phillies fan.
Were you a Phillies fan? Your
I
favorite
love-
player was either Will Clark or Eric Davis.
That was Adam. Will
Wrong.
Clark.
Wrong.
My favorite was Don Mattingly.
Don, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
Donnie Baseball. But I was a huge Darren Dalton, Lenny Dykstra, and who's the other guy? Who's the other?
Schilling.
No. I can't think of it. Obviously, I wasn't that big of a fan.
John Kruk.
John Kruk, there you go. And, yeah, I was a
Darren
huge...
Dalton's dead.
Thanks for pointing that. So it's Kurt Schilling.
No, he's
No,
not.
it's Roy Halladay. Sorry. Kurt Schilling is alive and well.
Ursula Summers going, what? What? I'm alive, I swear.
Wait, Kurt Schilling
What's the
subscribes to Tonto's Demise on YouTube.
He's my first celebrity. He's really hard up for work. So I told him if he subscribed, I'd give him a job.
Craig and I,
Sports correspondent.
Craig and I both know that's not true because you don't even know how to subscribe.
Isn't Kurt Schilling like a hardcore racist or something now? Like he's,
Probably. He looks like one.
Does he get that from you too?
Get out of here. No.
Just kidding. But I was let the record stand. I was right about Greg Jeffries.
Okay, well, also let the record stand that I asked you 10 questions about football that were pretty relevant within the last 5 years. You got 2 right.
I don't. That was only for the off season for the most part.
I asked
All
you
off season questions.
Marcel Lynch basically was coming back, one of the biggest names in football, and you were like, oh. It was
Hey,
all over the news, Sports Center, everything for
I don't.
6 months.
During the summer, I don't
Internet,
look.
Brian. The internet. Surely, if you were looking at fantasy football standings or like ideas of who to draft, he would have popped up.
He would have, but I don't look at that until the end of July, beginning of August. It's dead to me until that time.
Dead to you. It's never dead.
Let's move on. All right. Who wants to do unfinished business?
Oh, we're not even like talking. We're just going to straight unfinished.
All right. We're gonna keep talking because Deli wants to keep talking. All right. Have another one, Deli.
I will. Did you know that Craig slept in a waterbed?
What? Like in high school?
Yeah, I think so. High school.
Did you own a waterbed?
I did. So did Sally. We had them.
You shared a waterbed? That's weird. Whatever.
We
Were
had.
they bunk beds?
They were bunk water beds.
Why did anybody think of that growing up? Water bunk beds.
That would be awesome.
Nothing back then.
No, I think I had mine until we moved out of the house on Park Avenue because I remember having to figure out how to drain it.
Oh wow.
and
How
having,
do you drain it? Is there?
Stick a hose out the window?
I plugged in the hose and connected it, and you had to you had to basically reverse the hose to use gravity to pull the water down through the hose and then down, and it came out into like I had dumped it had to empty into a sink downstairs.
Ah.
You talking like the same process when you're stealing somebody's gas with a hose? Do you like the little suck thing or?
Actually, I do. I think so.
Okay.
Where you had to get it to the suction to work, so it would pull. So the gravity would pull the water out.
Is that like a gravity bomb?
No,
No.
Okay.
Have you ever done a gravity bomb?
Yeah.
You have?
I think so.
For the record, Darren Dalton is, in fact, dead.
Yes, he is.
Thank you. How long we have our fact checker on the phone?
Have you done a gravity bomb?
Probably.
Do you? Can you describe to me what a gravity bomb is?
I don't think I can.
Even like one tool besides weed that you use in a gravity bomb?
Lighter.
Technically, yeah.
Am I right?
Okay.
Hey, it's
Okay.
a tool. Hey, the caveman had to get fire.
this is where we need Kevin Bean because he would tell us exactly how a gravity bong works.
Bucket of water.
He'd
A bucket of water.
and on
Okay.
top of a
Two-
soda bottle.
2-liter bottle cut in half.
And then a piece.
Yes, up
yeah.
there is the weed is up here, and you light it, and you're sucking, and all the smoke comes up through the 2-liter, and you stick, and that's when like whatever hole or whatever you let it, then just all comes up at once,
Yep.
right down your throat.
Yep. I did that.
That just sounds.
Lucas McDaniel in college, the guy you met, and
How about a BJ?
that's the guy.
That
Yeah,
guy's a weirdo.
He did all kinds of contraptions like that. Yeah.
Yeah. How about
Right.
BJ?
Yeah. How about a
worst,
BJ?
worst water bong I ever did was with Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Ziegler.
Dirk Reiniger. Is that his last name?
Yes.
He was. I got so high, it was the worst thing that could have happened to me being around Dirk. That made me the most paranoid because Dirk is an asshole.
Apparently, Dirk is like, was he like a security guard at a prison or something? And
Something like that.
Seems about right.
bench presses like 500 pounds now and goes out in the woods and hunts snakes like or something like.
Seems about right. All right. So why did you bring
he
up?
also talks about last time it was string theory. He's talking about string theory, and I looked around like, who is this guy? Like, you don't talk about string theory. You talk about like stringing some poor kid up in a tree.
Yes.
So yeah, well, that does make sense about the 500 pounds.
So why did you bring up Craig's waterbed anyway?
Water bet?
Yeah.
Oh, water bed.
Waterbed.
Water bet? Justin knows what I'm talking about. Water bet?
Water bat.
Water bet.
Oh.
Yes.
We don't. We said we're not going to talk about the water bat.
Oh, okay. No water bet. Never mind. Water bed. No, you just said bring something else up, and I said, "Oh, did you know that Craig got a waterbed?"
That's the first thing that popped into.
That's so funny. I look at Craig and I see
It wasn't,
waterbed.
but I didn't want to say the first thing that popped in my head because I didn't want to like incriminate Craig in any way, shape, or form.
All right. Any other? Do you have any more comments about the waterbed?
There was nothing wrong with it, as far as I can tell.
Was it a single waterbed?
No, is there such a thing?
don't know.
No, I think it was like a queen size.
Queen. Okay.
Did you ever have fun in the waterbed, Craig, with said person at Park Avenue?
Jeez.
Yes. We were just talking about this last night. I think it was last night. Justin brought up, was it the Adventures, was it Bill Nye or Pete and Pete?
Pete and Pete.
It was Pete and
Yeah.
Pete.
I was singing the song.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Because whenever I was dating Steph D'Agostino, I'd get off work, pick her up, we'd go to my house,
Watch Pete.
fuck, and then Pete, and then on like the one Nickelodeon channel at like 2 a.m. they showed Pete and Pete, and then they showed Bill Nye the Science Guy. So I'd go home, we'd do it, and we'd watch Bill Nye and Pete, and it was great.
That was
That
hilarious.
sound- All right. Intel. Too much. Too. Give her the
You
ranking.
asked, you
No. I love it.
Yeah.
Give us that ranking, Craig. 1 out of 10. How good was Stephanie Diaz? What's her name? D'Agostino Burrell. D'Agostino now.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
1 to 10?
Yeah. 10 being the best.
Obviously.
Well, you never know. Could be 10 being the worst.
Definitely, I would say 7 to 8. Up there.
I heard she sucks like a Hoover. Hoover.
News.
Nailed it.
No, you were supposed to say nah, and then Jet was supposed to say eh. Man, you screwed it up.
I was?
I'm just messing with you. Jet caught it.
Drink some more coffee.
All right. So, who wants to start off with their unfinished business?
Okay.
I'm sure I have something. I can't think of it right this second.
First thing is what I wish Kevin Bean was here. This is an unfinished business about fantasy football. It's unfinished business about something he brought up a while ago, and it's his personal opinion that we all discussed it before, but until I actually had it happen to me in real life, and it clicked again. So I was driving my girlfriend home from work, and I just decided she wanted to go out to eat before I came here. So I said, all right, where do you want to go? And you talked for a while. I was like, I know you want to go to Panera Bread. And she's like, yeah, but you don't like Panera Bread. And I said, yeah, you're right. It's overpriced shit. It's a pick two thing where you get half a sandwich and half a bowl of soup.
Yeah.
And it's $12. And she's like,
It's mediocre.
That's why you go with a salad.
well, they're bowl. The way I say half a thing of soup is because the bowl. The bowls are smaller now.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I was like, this is crazy. So, but anyway, so we go up to the register, do our ordering thing. I put my card in, and it goes, would you like to tip the Panera Bread team today? And I'm sitting there, and I look down, and like all this rushing information just came right back into my head.
From Kevin
And it's
Bean.
like, son of a bitch. And I look up, and that girl, the cashier girl's looking right at me.
Yep.
And I'm like, and I was just like, I just go, no, I do not want to.
It doesn't make you a
And-
bad person.
No, but and my girlfriend is like, she goes, don't say a word. Don't say a word.
She's whispering this in your
Yeah, because she thinks I'm gonna like say something to him. I don't think I'm gonna say anything, but she just knew that like I already don't like this place, and I'm paying an arm and a leg for a shitty meal. Well, not shitty, a half decent shitty meal. So
An arm and a leg.
an arm. Well, I know 21. Who knows? Anyways, but no, I get to sit down and get our stuff. I sit there. I get my own drink. I go to the table. I get my own napkins. I get my own whatever else. Then I hold the stupid buzzer. The thing buzzes.
Yeah.
I gotta go up and get my own food. They don't even say anything to you. I go back there, sit down, eat it. When I get up, I gotta take my own plates and throw them away.
I hear you.
it.
I hear you.
And I was sitting there, I was like, "What the fuck makes you think you're worth a tip to me? You make my food, yes, but you're also making minimum wage." And I realized this at the same time. I'm a person that depends on tips for my living. But-
Did you choose first to not tip them? Or what happened first? Did you choose that? Or were they quiet? They not saying anything to you when you picked up your order, and they
I chose not to tip them first.
Okay.
You immediately make
So
the
once they
purchase and then you say no or
once
yes.
they knew that you chose
Right.
no tip.
That's the thing. I was wondering, did I spit my food?
I don't think so.
I mean, and at the same time, how does this work? Every person tips $1 or something. Where they all get it at the end of the night and split it in 12 ways. There's a lot of people back there.
yeah.
But that came rushing back to me, and I laughed at myself because I laughed remember Kevin being so passionate about it, about how it made him feel uncomfortable, and I was like, I just experienced this, and I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, I went
So
through
I
it
don't
as
think
well.
And well, that's another,
Yeah.
you pay for cash. It's not like that cashier lady's gonna be like, "Hey, would you like to give us a
that's good
tip?"
point. Yeah.
It's only with
Would
that
you
card.
would you like to put some more of that cash into our
Yeah,
register?
exactly. So that's the beginning of my business. That's all I wanted to say about it.
Any comments from the crowd on Panera?
I'd say it's more of a social experiment kind of thing. I mean, to see what people kind of do. And, you don't have to tip. You don't have to feel bad for not tipping.
No, but they want you to.
Yeah.
It's a weird pressure thing.
Yeah, it does feel weird.
Whenever they start doing that at Sheets, then I'll start thinking about it. I will form an opinion on the subject whenever they start doing that at Sheets.
It's exactly the same premise.
It is. It is. It pretty much
If you
is.
were ordering your MTO or whatever, at the end it would be like, "Would you like to tip?"
There's actually no difference.
Yeah, the three guys back there.
Except she said it'll give you a little buzzer. That's the only difference.
That's right. They just call it out like real people.
Yeah.
That's actually doing work. 713. 713.
That's real work.
That's all I gotta say about that.
So I said I wouldn't bring this back up,
But you lied.
but I lied, and I'm going to bring it back up from a few weeks ago with Detling talking about the best Tom Petty songs
Yes.
and going into it's back. we won't let it.
It's the
let
most
it go
boring
away.
debate about music ever. Music
But
videos.
it's not the songs, it's the videos.
Videos.
And you talked about, okay, Don't Come Around Here anymore. I guess that's like a legendary video. Is the song even that good? I don't know, but you remember it because of the
it's a great
video.
song.
Okay, but you said the greatest song was,
I said the greatest,
the best Tom Petty song was,
in my opinion.
yes, what was it?
I've never heard that one.
I Won't Back Down. Right, that was the
That's
best
one
song.
of my favorites all time. Yes.
Have you ever actually seen the video for that song in comparison to Refugee?
I believe is it where he's just singing into a microphone.
Yeah, that's all they do is they just
The
they
entire
just show
time,
the
yeah.
band playing the song. That's all it is.
Good camera work though.
You're so full of crap.
No, but that was like top 3 songs that like we listened to.
But you can't
Yeah.
tell what era it's from by the camera, by the microphone. I mean, someone could still use that microphone today, so it's still current and with the times, Craig. Come on now.
But don't you think that the lyrics and the song "Free Fallin'" I understand that the video is set. It's a very late '80s,
Early 90s.
Southern California teenage vibe to it. But then again, can't you take those lyrics and interpret them? They can translate to current to any time, really.
Could you use said lyrics in a sentence? Or what is the origin of said lyrics? If I'm to respond to this.
Like you want him to like actually quote some of the lyrics you're talking about?
Yeah.
So if you're going to bash the song based purely on the video and the lack of timelessness of that video, but
It's a ballad. It's a ballad. That's what I'm saying.
But the song itself has a timeless appeal.
I agree. I think that the actual song itself is timeless, but the video clearly is not.
If we're gonna bash the videos, then check out the "I Won't Back Down" videos.
So he's basically just trashing your song's
Anything
video.
about the "I Won't Back Down" video? I never put that up there on a
But
pedestal.
he
I
is.
did the "Don't Come Around Here No More" video. That's what I said, and I stick by that one.
Okay.
Not every video can be a timeless, legendary video.
So Delling is saying
You said you were like,
Yeah.
I believe that the girl and the mall and stuff like that. You said it like that is timeless. You said that can still work today, and I was just like, no, it can't. It can't because it's the Galleria. It's a shitty mall. He's walking around with his guitar and his roof, and he goes down the escalator singing. It's stupid. It's so stupid. There's nobody there. It's like I'm at the Galleria Mall in the Johnstown is what I'm thinking. It's not timeless. If I'm there, it makes me think of the depression of Johnstown that's going through.
Right, and the gallery.
Then they have the girl doing that stupid ramp thing, up and down, and she's not even that hot of a girl. She's got the nice hair, but the boobs aren't that. doing
And
too
if the
well.
gallery is open for 10 more years, we'll be lucky. So
But isn't that the point, though, that she's just doing something that has no point to it? You're just doing it to do it.
free falling.
Free falling.
out into nothing.
Exactly. And they had no
Gonna leave this
choice.
world behind.
They had no choice but to have that time things like around that time with the skateboarding and stuff like that. But if you made the video for that song now, it would be some kind of whatever the current version of skateboarding is, or whatever version of the mall is now. Like there would be something else to replace that fits the time.
Yeah, like Amazon.
The girl would be skateboarding looking at her smartphone and ordering
right,
something from Amazon.
That's right.
She'd
That's a stretch. It's a stretch.
She'd be on her, what are those shoes called? Are they wheelies?
Yeah.
On her wheelies, going down the street, on her smartphone, ordering up something from Amazon.
That's a little dated. Now.
Yeah, it's also dated. Also not timeless.
Maybe she'd be like racing a drone or something. Maybe. Through like a tunnel back, just straight and back and forth, straight back and forth.
I just appreciate that Craig brought it back up. I thought it was dead.
Should be dead. I still don't like the video. I don't think it's relevant for anything. And I thought it's just one of the worst videos that in my head.
Okay, and do you go ahead.
Don't forget, what is dead shall never die.
Oh, thank you. That's deep.
But if you're going to purely judge the song based on the video,
No,
then you turn around and say, I Won't Back Down is the greatest, but then you look at that video and there was like no effort put into that at all.
I understand what you're saying. I'm hearing you.
Joe, will you
But,
post these
hold on.
videos to the
I won't back
lineup
down.
when you get a chance?
I never said anything about the video.
Because
of I
then
Won't
we
Back
could,
Down.
we
I
could
said about like
do
being a
the
top 3 song of mine. We were like, what's our top 3 songs? So, kind of forgot where I was going with this because I drank too much already.
You've
But,
had a half a beer.
good stuff. But anyways, no, I'd say that Free Fallin' is a good song, but it's not a great song. And I just feel like when you're going through the whole catalog of Tom Petty's music, this one does not stand out to me. The only reason it stands out because it is just like walking or bouncing around the room of Fish. Like it's on the radio, everybody loves to listen to it just because it's got like that formula,
It's a good
like a
anthem.
Taylor
It's a-
Swift
yeah.
sort of thing. And that's it. If I had to pick a Taylor Swift song of Tom Petty's, it would be "Free Falling," because everybody in our age group knows we all know what "Free Falling" is. Hey, we can all sing the first 3 chords of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask them after that, like a majority of those people, hey, you know any other Tom Petty songs? Oh no, I don't know that one. That's what my problem is. That's why I don't think it's a good song. It's a song where when you go to a
But-
concert, everybody ends up singing. He'll just stop the microphone and be like, everybody starts singing "Free Falling" the
That
chorus.
doesn't make a song bad, though.
What's wrong with that?
That doesn't make a song bad.
And if you're a true Tom Petty fan, that is not the songs that should speak to you. Is what I'm saying. Pearl Jam.
Oh,
At a Pearl
jeez.
Jam concert, and Jeremy comes on, and you're like, are you gonna be super excited because everybody loves the song Jeremy and Pearl Jam? That's the only thing they know Pearl Jam for. Meanwhile, you got the whole thing. Your favorite song is what? Was it Imagination or Imagine or something like that?
Hard to imagine.
Hard to imagine, right? But the person who's listening to Jeremy and swears that it's their favorite band doesn't even know what the fuck that is. They're like, "What are you talking about?" They don't even know that song. So,
It's actually a long-standing joke between me and my cousin from New York that we always go to Pearl Jam shows, and I always say, "Please don't let them play Jeremy or Last Kiss," because I've heard this song so many times. I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then when they do play them, she looks at me and we just start laughing.
see, that's
So
my
it's a
point
joke.
exactly.
I get the point. However, on the flip side, whenever Beck plays Loser live, it's awesome. Because he doesn't play it very often.
It's still they're still great.
Yeah.
People go nuts for it,
Yeah.
but
But you're the
I'm
person that has
tired.
all the concerts. I mean, yeah.
yeah. But I'm tired of hearing that. I want to hear something that doesn't get played nearly as often.
Basically, you and Eddie Vedder don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and I'm tired of hearing Free Fallin'. I'm just tired of it.
I'm tired of this debate. I just wanted to bring up a little bit of a debate for unfinished business, because it technically is unfinished. Josh is sitting at the top of the league, 11-1. Is that what he is? 10-1. 10-1. So,
I'm the one.
Judd is very proudly raising his
Thank you,
hand.
sir.
He is the first one to take you down, and the only reason he beat me is because Big Ben threw 5 picks against your freaking Jags D. Anyway,
I think somebody would have won this week if they played Mariota with his 5 picks, though.
That is true. Somebody who remained nameless and owns Marcus Mariota still would have won their matchup if they had started him, despite the 4 interceptions.
Oh, was it 4? I was only 4.
It was
see,
only
that
4.
fifth one might have hurt you. Anyway, do we think Josh, this is a real debate, do we think he is a true contender or a pretender as first place?
First place or champion?
Or either or. First place or a champion. Is he a
I-
contender or a pretender?
Honestly, I firmly believe that he is a contender because I would also I didn't ask before, but I believe that the Jacksonville defense is probably the most dominating defense in fantasy football history for us because they're just, I mean, they're what, we put like 56, 40 some points. Like they're just
I think I
insane.
talked about this in the review for
Okay.
about Jacksonville defense. Like that was probably the pick of the draft, and it's got to be one of the best defensive for a whole season.
Yeah.
It's been one of the best consistent performers that we've ever seen.
Yeah, because like that and Tom Brady that he has, like we always when we go through the reviews, it's always talking
got the
about.
buns.
I talked about the buns, right, and the meat in between, but he's got the buns, man. He's got Tom Brady and the whole Jacksonville defense, and those people. I mean, they put like 118 or something like that normal, but in the
I
and
think it was like one. I think just the two of them was 116 points this week.
yeah,
Just the two of them.
yeah, just the two.
So they would have beat Bean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bean. I would have said it to your face too.
And if Deshaun Watson doesn't go down, like he also has DeAndre Hopkins, who's going nuts.
Yeah,
he's still going well with Savage, but with Watson, he was doing even better. And it's just like you're looking at his. I look at his lineup and I go, this should not be happening. Like I don't understand it, but
Robert Woods, 40 points.
yeah, but that's just. I mean, that's just getting lucky for that.
Yeah.
But he's got the buns, man. And I think he's a contender. And I also said if he makes it, I think if he doesn't go in week 14, I think he's got it wrapped up.
14? What do you mean? He has a bye 14.
Exactly what I'm saying. If he has a bye, he has it wrapped up.
Oh, he already has a bye.
I mean, the championship,
So you think he already has the championship locked up?
pretty much. Wow. Jacksonville plays San Francisco and I think Indianapolis or something in week 14 and 15. I looked it up and just
15, 16.
yeah, 15 16. And I just feel like that they're going to annihilate those teams.
Okay, Jet.
I think he's a pretender. Mainly because I already took him down, and I don't know what you guys are whining about. It wasn't that hard. Maybe it's because I gave him Tom Brady. Maybe he went easy on me, but I don't know.
Okay.
I too think he's more of a pretender than a contender. Like, I think that eventually that luck is going to run out. The buns will always be there to get him like probably 80 to 100 points combined. Whether Jacksonville gets 20 and Tom Brady gets 60 or it's like 40-40, they'll probably get him 80 to 100 every week. But everything in between there is questionable. I know he's got Greg Olsen coming back for the playoffs, but is he going to be Greg
He doesn't
Olsen?
even need Greg Olsen. He doesn't need him.
So he should bench him?
No, but I'm just saying he doesn't need him. He's just
He does now because he has suffered some injuries to some. Chris Thompson is gone.
Robert
Woods
Woods is down.
is down for a couple of weeks. But then again, I think Benjamin's down. Again, what I said in the review though, he can kind of coast his way through the rest of the regular season,
Yeah.
and he's
got a bye.
guaranteed getting a bye week.
Yeah.
So some of these guys might be back, and Benjamin and Woods might be healthy again by week 15.
Right.
When he needs them again. So it's going to be whoever has to play him it's going to be a difficult matchup, no matter what.
So you think contender?
Oh, absolutely. I not to toot my own horn, but I've been supporting Josh the whole season, and to the criticism of picking Greg Olsen, and the ramifications up and down his lineup on skipping over some of those top guys, but I've been saying all along that Benjamin and Hopkins, that he made good picks and he got those guys. And again, I said about Jacksonville's defense, we all skipped over them, and he was the one. It's like a prove it to me situation where sometimes you're gonna have a fantasy guy where you know that what they're gonna do. You've seen it happen in the past, and then there's hype and potential, and you know that it's there, but you've never actually seen it. And it takes one person. I mean, that's all it takes to win the league in any given season, is to roll the dice and take that blind chance onto somebody. And there can be one team like that, or a defense, or a quarterback that can literally carry you through the entire season all the way to a Tonto Bowl. And I think it's very possible that Josh made that, whether we like to admit it or not, Josh made that pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. I think there was like round 12 or 13.
Was it that late?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that late. That's crazy. And I think he had him the year before too.
Maybe.
Because he was big on the Jacksonville D.
They were really hyped up last year.
Yeah.
And then they fell flat.
Yeah.
And then they were all hyped up again this year. And it turned out that way. It's turned out differently this year. and he made the pick that we're all jealous of, that we all passed it over,
Yeah.
and it's been carrying him. Said Brady and Jacksonville defense has been carrying him, and he's gotten Robert Woods things like he's had things that pop up throughout the season. It can't just be Brady and Jacksonville.
Right.
You have to have some stuff there. Hopkins has been going crazy most weeks. Said Robert Woods had a couple big weeks. He's been able to piece things together to get, say he's only lost once. So other than Justin, we're all kind of just confused by Josh's team and how he's been able to do it.
All right, follow-up question. Do you think he takes the Tonto Bowl record down and he goes like whatever 12-1 for the whole season? I say no. It's what is it, 11-2?
As far as we know, it's 11-2.
Yeah.
I think he's going to tie it. I think he's going to lose one.
Yeah, I think he loses one. I think he loses
last 2 weeks.
I think he
either to
loses
you
to me.
or who else does he play?
I'm not sure.
Kevin Bean.
Kevin Bean this week, right? Or
Yes.
Kevin Bean this week. You next.
I play
week.
him week 13.
Do you think he goes 12-1?
No, I think it was 11-2.
11-2, Jut.
I think 12-1. I think I'm the only one who can handle him.
Wow. I love it. I love it. And Jut is not smiling from ear to ear.
Okay.
All right. That's enough. We don't want to inflate his ego too much more.
No, it can't fit his bowl-shaped head anymore. All right, more unfinished business here. Once again, not about fantasy football. Goes towards Craig. Craig's talking about things, and basically, I can't remember the whole conversation, but lineup. I asked him to like back me up on something. He's like, I don't know. Pretty much, it's either if whatever you speak is true, or you just make everything up completely because it sounds so ridiculous. So, and Craig's saying like, I don't know, but what are you saying? I'm like a gypsy or something, or like a storyteller, or I make everything up.
No, it's honestly true. I don't remember half the things you talk about ever happened. Like, I just don't remember it.
He's not questioning you. He just is surprised you remember the most random details.
I have a good memory. Craig, it was a spring or summer day. Warm, beautiful. You were dating Bree. We were going to Pittsburgh. I picked you up. We were going to Pittsburgh to see the Whole Steady concert.
See, I remember. I remember all this.
Okay, it was going to be at the Rex Theater, I believe.
Still following you.
But we didn't have tickets yet.
Correct.
And we thought that we could just go and get them.
Yes.
And then we were not even a quarter of the way. I think we were still in Richland when we were looking it up, and it was sold out. But we're like, we're just gonna go to Pittsburgh anyway. Is what we did. And then we visited Janelle, because I think Janelle was gonna come with us to the concert as well. So we went to Janelle's.
I think we were like, well, we'll go. We'll see if we can try to get one.
Right.
And if we don't, hey, we're in Pittsburgh. We'll find something to do. We know people here.
Right. Okay, so we did that. So we couldn't find tickets. We went up to Janelle's house, which is at the time was in Southside, all the way up top past the church.
Oh, yeah.
And her husband was Brandon at the time. So they take us down to a bar in the South Side. I think it might have been Chupka's 1 or 2. 1, I think it's 1.
1.
2 has the ski balls in it. But center bar. And at the time, the phone I had was not even a flip phone. It's like, if you think of like Star Trek, it just like pushes up.
Yep.
And the numbers are, it's real small. It's a little rectangle.
I remember this.
So Craig has to call, because we were staying there we were there, we were starting to drink a lot, and we were staying there. We decided we were going to stay the night. Craig calls Bree, and at the time, this is a track phone that I have. So
Because I think we can safely say now that she had herself convinced that the whole purpose of this trip was not to go see the Hold Steady. It was for me to go just fuck some girl that I'm friends with. And we didn't. That we actually planned to run into her, and I was planning to fuck her, or even though she has a boyfriend.
she was married.
She wasn't married.
She was married to that guy.
Laurel wasn't married.
Oh, Laurel. Yeah. Oh, yes, Laurel. You're correct.
All right, continue.
But anyway, yeah, that was she believed that we were not actually going to Pittsburgh to see the concert. That I was just going to go. I was going to Pittsburgh specifically to cheat on her. Like,
Wow.
And apparently I was his accomplice. I was helping him out. So Craig is out there. He's outside in the streets talking, and the phone, and this is a track phone, so it's by my minutes. I'm worried about my minutes.
Of course.
Craig is out there for over an hour on the phone.
Talking to Bree.
I still remember.
Yes.
Yeah, I still remember all this from my point of view.
Okay.
I'm still following you.
Okay, so I'm literally looking. I'm doing drinking and playing video game, and Brandon with Janelle, and they're like, "What is he doing out there?"
And you're like, yeah.
I was like, Bree's probably pissed because he's not coming home, and she's probably angry about something. And so you see Craig walking back and forth, like pacing and like waving his hands a little bit or something. He's talking. So the hour or so goes by, and he finally comes back in, and he's like, probably uses, I don't know, like 80 minutes. And I was like, damn it, my minutes. But so I was like, I'm going to find another card. But so we have some time. Then we go back up, and they're like, we decide to go to the strip club. I think we went to Blush, and Brandon drove us there, dropped Craig, Janelle, and I off. So we go in, and I think it's like a $10 cover. And I'm waiting for Craig to, like, 'cause Craig can get a little crazy in the strip clubs.
See, now that night, I don't even remember actually being in Blush. I just remember being outside on the sidewalk, listening to Bree scream at me for an hour.
That's your the rage. The rage was in you. So the rage. Craig was seeing red. So we're in the strip club. Craig doesn't even get a lap dance. I thought for sure after all getting yelled at and everything like that, I was like, this guy's got to go in the back room and get a lap dance. But he didn't want to pick anybody. So Janelle and we went to the stage, and I gave her, instead of throwing money at the stripper, I gave the Janelle all my ones to throw at the girls, because for some reason I got way more entertainment out of seeing Janelle do this. And these girls would come up to her, like, she had like the one girl like a big butterfly tattoo right above her pussy. And it was really weird. And Janelle was like, "Oh, that's a nice tattoo." And it was I just remember all these things because I'm just like, keep giving her ones, just keep giving her ones. And Janelle, I enjoyed it. So I don't know why. I love having a girl at the strip club. It's weird. It's kind of a little thing. But all of a sudden, I look off to the left of the stage, and there's this guy in a pleather jacket, a blue dickie, and like this gold chain, and jet black hair, and as close to a Hitler stash as you can get. And I said, "Oh my gosh, there's Hitler." And then just to confirm it, the guy waited for the stripper girl to get there, and he threw the ones out in a Sig Heil, like just like this, just like that, and all it just rained down, and he got the biggest kick. I'm like, I just saw Hitler. I don't know how much beer I've drank, but I've just saw Hitler in the strip club, and I remember going to Janelle, "That's Hitler. There's Hitler," and Craig's like, "You said that's Hitler." But anyways, so then we finished. Brandon picks us up. We go up to Janelle's. We go outside where she had a nice view of Southside, smoked a joint. And I just remember seeing, I knew I was toast when I saw the city line of Pittsburgh become 2. And it was like, go like this. And I was like, oh man, this is some good stuff. Then we go inside, and Brandon puts me and Craig were on the living room floor.
And we tried to watch
Mr. Fantastic Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, yeah.
But we were so stoned that it was not working.
Yeah, I was in a Barcolata chair, and I remember the beginning of it and the end of it, because I got up and turned it off and went right back to bed, and I was like, that's so good.
See, now that I remember, I remember that stuff.
You just
but the
forgot the
whole
blush.
thing at the blush, that's all a blur.
Were you drunk?
No,
Or,
I was. It was just so.
Titties.
Yeah,
Yeah. Titty drunk.
He's like, yeah, that's Hitler. That's Hitler. Titties.
it was just. I was so mentally disheveled at that point that I just I don't remember anything that happened. I don't even remember being in the building.
Wow. She's good. She's good. She wore you down to the point that like she didn't even like let you know where you were.
Yeah, so I was wrecked that night. I'm sure Craig was a little bit, but the fun part was years later when I'm at the casino dealing in a sit-down blackjack on swing shift at like 2 a.m. This person sits to my left, and I look, and it's Hitler
Same guy.
to gamble. Oh, definitely. There's no other guy that looks like Hitler like this guy, and he had the same gold chain, and the way he celebrated
It's not,
was
it's not a
amazing.
look most people go for.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, so I was like,
really a popular-
I couldn't contain my glee that he was sitting at my table. I wanted to call everybody and take a picture and send it. So, Craig, I have a good memory. That's what I'm trying to say. I remember that all.
From your point of view, yes, I can see how that was. You were a lot less stressed that night than I was.
Yeah, I had no worries, and everything. If I had any worries, everything I did took it away.
So it's understandable why my memory on that night is pretty foggy on these specifics.
The rest of
All right, let's get back to fantasy football. Not in Detling and Craig's fantasy world of blush.
That was not a fantasy world. That was a reality, Brian.
Sure.
most of Dilling's fantasies do include Hitler. So
And there was Hitler.
Brogan has told me some shit.
What I can get her to wear, you would not believe.
Wow. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, I'm gonna pass. I don't want to know this information. I have a fear it will,
uniform.
it will incriminate me later.
Fill those drawers. Fill those drawers.
That actually was one of my unfinished business for you, Delling. How does it feel? Because last year at this time we were interviewing Brogan about filling those drawers, and I wish she was here to get her perspective. But 1 year later, and those drawers are actually filled. How does it feel to have those drawers filled?
Deflating.
Let's make sure to share this with her.
Sure. I mean, I love it, honey. It's fantastic. It feels all right. I mean,
This is the first time you have ever been like pinned down and like actually had the same address.
where I can't go anywhere else.
You have the same home address as another human being. That's female.
It's
not
not your
related
mom.
to you.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, technically, my driver's license still does say my Gritzland address as well. So, but no, you're correct. And it feels. Some parts of it feel good. Some parts are hard to get used to, and some parts drive you nuts. Like I would just like I don't know, go get blitzed and then wander home one day. I can't do that because I got to drive up a fucking hill and there's cops everywhere because of the north side. I don't like the North Hills. It's nice, it's comfortable to, I don't know, have her there all the time. Also, at the same time, it drives you nuts at the time. The bad parts, I shouldn't say anything at all.
You don't have to share anything of the bad parts.
You understand? Like, it's like all of a sudden, if you're cranky and somebody's there, like, you just want them to leave you alone, but then they don't leave you alone. They're asking you just like stuff, like they just repeat stuff. Or they're like stuff that's not at the moment does not concern you. Like, you don't want to hear about it. Like, stop talking to me. Just let me play a video game. Damn it.
Yeah.
Or something.
Sometimes Detling just needs some Detling time.
Yeah,
That's right.
I do. Or I want to freaking jerk off. Like, I need to watch porn.
And not in her vagina.
Yeah. Not in her vagina. So.
I did not expect the answer to be that.
Well, it's like, I really want to ejaculate, but maybe into a sock and not Brogan's vagina.
But that's, to be fair, I have said stuff like, yeah, I like to watch porn. Well, why? I'm here. Like, it's me. I'm here. You know, you can do whatever. Let me know. I'm like, I know, but it's not the same. It's different. It's, yeah, whatever. But
That's not what girls want to
no, it's not.
That's the last thing they want to hear.
It doesn't go well when I try to like explain myself. I was like, you want me to be honest? We'll be honest. And then all of a sudden, like, it's a crying fest, and I'm like, well, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
But it's a 1-bedroom apartment too. Like, I can't, like, there's no space.
Right,
Like,
I
don't
agree.
have a office
It's
or
nice, but it's small.
I have a car, yes. With a jerk off in?
Yeah.
No, I stopped doing that.
There's a walk-in closet.
Full of her stuff.
True.
I have about 5 shirts in there.
I know you showed me.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah,
You got a bathroom, I'm sure.
it's attached to the walk-in closet.
A shower.
I'm not good at that. In the shower,
A kitchen.
kitchen's attached to the living room.
It's all like open kind of concept.
Is there a dumpster in the alley that you can go behind?
There is no alley.
Is there a hallway?
Nope.
Nope. It's tight living quarters.
Very tight living quarters. So, but it just takes some getting used to.
No basement, no attic.
Yeah, or like when trying to go to bed, like the girl, like, I don't even know why I like to just say it. She can't get enough of me. And I hate it. It's like, that's hubris, but it's not. It's like she wants me around all the time. And that's another thing that drives me nuts.
Basically, you can't get an erection without her knowing.
Right, exactly. Like,
She's on top of it.
she knows.
Sometimes literally.
Yes.
She detects it.
Yes. So, but I like it. It's successful.
Well, that's a big problem. Like, she can't get enough of you.
Hey, that's
I know it sounds so stupid to say it, but it's.
I know what you mean.
Like,
No,
like I said,
Crystal is not like that, but I know.
no, like I told her, I said I might go up Tuesday night, and she's or Wednesday, depending if I have to take my aunt. And then the other day, like Monday night, I said, I'm going to Johnstown up on Tuesday night. She's like, no, what? No, and she's like, gets all mad about it. I'm not happy, and I was like, well, so what? I was like, I told you. I was like, it's only 3 days. I said I have the day off Sunday. We can hang out all day.
It feels like 3 years to her.
It does. It's so weird. Like, that's the thing. Like, and I've never had a girl that's like latched on to me like that.
It's a very delicate balance, to try to
It is.
deal. I think everyone needs time to take care of themselves. Maybe not actually.
Maybe not physically.
Well, they take care of themselves.
Well, you do, but
But to find that balance between having your own time and giving them, especially sometimes people who they constantly want your attention, and that's just
yeah,
you got to find a balance in between or else you're just gonna burn out.
yep.
Exactly. So, So in regards to that, I'm trying not to burn out.
All right, so
But
you're
like I said, it's not bad. There's nothing I can't. Like, the thing is, I can't even complain. Like I live in a place that's like I can't afford.
yeah.
It's a pretty nice
It
place.
is.
It's like, I don't know. Brian was there.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's very nice, very clean.
Fireplace.
Yeah, nice fireplace. Everything. So I can't complain. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, it's not like not like you're saying anything that she should be mad about. We're just
yeah.
I'm sure every relationship is like this, and I'm sure Justin and Brian can both attest to it.
Right.
Even I can from the time where I had to go through this. And you guys know me. I'm a very like quiet person. I'm all by myself all the time, but I can function and do things, and I like doing things by myself.
Yeah.
Right.
But then when I was living with, for example, living with Bree, if I want to read a book, I like reading books. I can't read a book because that's not time I'm spending with her.
Yeah.
And that's where things start to get kind of tricky whenever you're not allowed that just time to yourself to just engage in activities that you enjoy and not
By yourself.
yourself. It has to always has to be sharing.
That's
There's
not
always
masturbation, right?
exactly. I used reading a book just that linked this masturbation, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So one other book thing is I've finished 2 books since I've dated her, and it's very hard. Like I'm waiting till she goes to bed. I'm in the bed. I'm like wait for her, like not hit her. Check. And then like turn. And then I turned like the headlamp on, and like start turning pages as not to wake her up, trying to finish the book, and then I fall asleep by the end of a chapter. So like I finished Rogue Player 1,
Oh yeah.
and now I'm reading the second book, Armada. So I'm almost done. Like so I brought up here because I was like, I'm gonna be able to get through so much of this because there's nobody around. And my parents will let me do that. They'll let me. I'm out on the balcony or something like that, reading a book. They're not coming out and asking what.
You mean they can't get enough of you? Or
My parents have-
they actually can get enough of you.
They got enough.
Plenty.
Yeah.
All right, we'll end it there. This is not fantasy football related. That's how you start all of yours.
I had 2 things I was going to read, but now since you said that, this one is going to be the one that's not fantasy related.
Nice.
I went and saw.
This is the one that's not.
This is the one. Yeah.
Despite me.
This is so I went and saw Justice League today, and everybody talking about it on the Line app and everything. I liked it. I know the story's choppy, Craig, but I still thought it was good. I thought that as far as being compared to like Thor, I almost actually surprisingly I enjoyed it more than Thor, which is surprising because Thor was a good movie. But what I liked about it was like the villains. Like there's a swarm of these bees people, and like they attack people when they smell fear. And I felt like I was more scared of these villains than I was of Kate Blanchett, who's the main villain in Thor. And also it wasn't that bad. I mean, Wonder Woman. I mean, come on, Jesus, man, she's so hot. Like the cameraman is like looking. The cameraman must love his job because the angle he has, like, there's so many shots of like her butt, like in like the leather pants, like just straight up. I'm just like, God, I just want to be on your body. Like I don't care if I'm the jacket or something. But Gal Gadot is amazingly just so hot. And it's just like when I was watching Wonder Woman, I don't think I realized half the story until I was there. Like it clicked like halfway through once, and I was like, "Where am I? Like, what? Oh,
I'm at a movie.
Yeah, I'm at a movie. Like,
So I believe almost every character at some point in the movie just commented just on on Wonder Woman's looks, like how hot she was.
yeah,
Just like that at some point, that as a culture, like, okay, you don't need to have everybody reduce her to her physical looks, and that's still a problem that every character had to make a comment about her appearance.
true.
And that's just
Even Alfred.
that's just nitpicking something little from the movie. But you start talking about Gal Gadot and how hot she is. Well, yeah, we all know that. But
Why did you have to comment about that just now?
because there's no reason for the characters to all comment on it.
Yeah, I get
Like
your
she's
point.
one of the team.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not a sex object.
Right.
I don't care.
So what do you rate the movie? What do you rate the movie?
Did you say? I'd probably give the movie about a 7. No, 6.5. Story was, I mean, like Craig said, the story's choppy, but it still entertained
What do
me
you think about Batman's one-liners? All his bad.
because I'm rich.
I thought you liked Justice League better than Thor.
I did, but I did give Thor a better rating, which is what you're.
We're talking about Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ragnarok, yeah.
I thought you were talking about Dark World. Sorry.
I gave Thor the better rating because of like the special effects. I saw it in 3D. I didn't see this one in 3D, but and Thor was funny, and I just like Marvel movies better overall than
Could
DC.
you imagine Gal Gadot's ass in 3D? Damn.
Damn is right.
I saw it in 3D.
Where? Oh, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no.
In real life.
Justice League. I saw it.
Oh,
I saw it in 3D. I always go, but that's why I always end up going by myself because nobody else
Wants to pay for 3D.
likes to see 3D, and I enjoy the experience
I don't care for
of
3D.
I don't either.
Gal Gadot's ass in 3D.
have you ever seen the? I've told you this before about YouTube, like a day as with Gal Gadot as your girlfriend.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. Like you wake up to her. It's like a real
Somebody
thing.
actually put this together.
This is like it's like a commercial
Okay.
about it, and she's the girl. It's wonderful. It is so wonderful. It's just like, I don't know if you were like you ever see it. I don't know.
Is this rapidly turning into a podcast that Brogan shouldn't listen to?
I know. Yeah, we immediately followed that part up to with the.
No, I talked to her after the movie, and she's like, what'd you do? And I said, I watched Justice League, and she said, well, how was it? And I said, it was pretty good. They fought this and then. I was like,
I jerked
Gal
off-
Gadot
I jerked off
in the theater.
By myself.
No, I said, Gal Gadot plays.
Finally.
I said, do you know who Gal Gadot is? She's like, no. I said, she's Wonder Woman. I said, she's gorgeous. She's like, but not as hot as your girlfriend. So, but I said, but you're not Wonder Woman, and that didn't go over well.
Man.
I just shoot myself in the foot all the time. I was like, but you
You
can't.
gotta be less honest.
I guess apparently I do. Just needed to lie all throughout my whole life.
No, you pick and choose your lies.
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna
lie all
have
the
to
time.
talk
Just pick
to
and choose.
Justin about these sort of things. And
Yeah.
maybe even Brian. I don't know if he's ever gotten in trouble for these sort of things.
I mean, you always get in trouble for like putting your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, do you ever say anything about?
Or theirs sometimes.
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Did you say anything like about when we saw that movie Her with Scarlett Johansson? Where you're like,
No.
Scarlett, her, because you and me both commented about how her voice, just her voice,
Oh, yeah.
was sexy, like
Absolutely.
just entrancing.
Did you know that
I
today
didn't bring
was,
that up.
Today was Scarlett Johansson's birthday?
I did not.
You did.
I definitely did.
Did you send her a gift?
Maybe.
All the Kleenex from the previous year.
It's disgusting.
She probably gets that shit.
That was a big
Yeah. Probably because you sent it to her.
Who's your girl? Who's your guilty pleasure? That's a good question. We never really get that from you.
Sarah Lynn Bohorik.
I just saw.
Look at even Justin.
I think it was on the Tonight Show like a couple days ago. Kate Upton and Justin Verlander were on the show, and Justin Verlander makes me irrationally angry just because he's married.
That's
He's
so
married to Kate
funny.
Upton.
That is so funny. Like you don't deserve her.
She should be mine.
I have nothing against him personally, but I just have this irrational hatred for Justin Verlander simply because he is married to Kate
I don't
Upton.
know if I'd call it irrational.
I think it's pretty rational. I mean, most
Yeah, I mean,
you're not alone.
that's right.
I have nothing against him except for that. Like I shouldn't hate him, but I do.
That's funny.
Right. I'm like, dude, you're a dick. You're already like a Cy Young Award-winning pitcher. Why do you got to take this away from me?
Won the World Series, and now you're gonna go marry her?
Yeah, like, come on.
Son of a bitch.
The other one will be about Justin.
All right, I have to keep us on track as Justin is showing me like some Instagram photos of some lovely ladies.
See a porn star?
No.
This is clearly being derailed. Here's a serious question about the future of our league. And Jimmy obviously is going to no longer be the commissioner
You
after
stole
this
my
season.
business.
Oh, well, we can share it.
Okay.
So there have been a lot of names floated out there. I really don't have any interest in the job. I know Delling does. Justin might. Craig, I don't know if he does. I'm just curious who you think should take over the job from Jimmy. Who should take the reins and why? Craig, would you like to start?
Nope.
Okay. Justin, would you like to go?
I say Craig because he already does everything anyway.
All right. So you're going to follow Jimmy's lead and just say Craig because he...
Jimmy did not. That's not
not
what
say
Jimmy
Craig.
said.
Well, essentially that's what he said. He said Craig does all the work. What did he say?
He
Justin?
nominated Justin or
Gags.
But
Greg.
on his phone call, he said, you guys should have Craig. If you listen to the phone call, he's like, you guys should just have Craig be the next commissioner.
That was his initial hot take
Right.
on the subject.
Yeah.
But then he thought about it more, and it is now Gags or Justin.
Right, those are his, nominees. I think that it should be new blood. I think, no offense to you, Detling or Tree Sice or Jimmy, I just think it should be new blood. Not saying you mismanaged the league, but, you know, people didn't really get paid on time or at all. I'm kidding.
People didn't get paid when Jimmy was the commissioner. We get
True.
paid until the draft.
Say, this is the first year where I'm handling the money, so why don't you guys wait and see how quickly you get paid this year?
I got paid $30 today. Thanks, Jay.
Before
Yeah, it's
choose
crazy.
to not nominate me or choose me. Wait and see how fast you get your money.
Yeah. Oh, I think Craig would run an efficient league. I do. I think that, you know, he like Jimmy said, he does the majority of the work. But do we want to give him all the power? You know, he does a lot of the behind the scenes work. I'm not saying that you would mismanage the league in terms and be like drive it to your favor or anything like that, but I think it might be good to spread out the responsibilities.
Well, I've been thinking about this too ever since he was talking about stepping down from the commissionership. And I was thinking about also if that's what he chooses to do, that I may might decide to no longer do the video recaps or the scorekeeping and either let the new commissioner handle that or let them decide if somebody else wants to volunteer. And maybe, like you said, maybe new blood, change it up a little bit. Maybe I said it's been going for a couple years now. Maybe it might be time for something different.
Okay, so are you saying that you don't want to do the scorekeeping anymore?
If Jimmy is stepping down, I'm strongly considering it.
But if Jimmy stays?
If he stays, we'll see.
Okay.
But I'm fairly convinced.
This is breaking news.
Say that, right?
Yeah, that wasn't convincing.
Shall see.
Oh, we shall see.
With Jimmy in mind, we shall see.
This is kind of breaking news
That
for
is
me.
kind of breaking
Breaking
news.
news for the league.
Yeah, breaking news.
The only thing too, though, that about if Jimmy does step down, because you've talked before, Brian, in the past about keeping records of the years in the past, and right now, since Jimmy is the commissioner, I think to start we would have to keep using his account to keep the league going. I don't know that if he didn't do it and somebody else, I don't think somebody else can take over as commissioner. Like they would have to start a new Yahoo page, and then it would end all the current league as it is on Yahoo. And like we have the record book that goes back how many years, as long as Jimmy's been commissioner. Mm-hmm. But
Would that Rick? I didn't drop the phone. Would that record book be erased if Jimmy ended his commissionership?
I don't know. I don't know if it would be erased, but we wouldn't have. I'm sure we would have access to it.
You said we would or wouldn't?
I don't think that we would, but I'm not 100% positive on the exact details of it. But if he's no longer commissioner, the point is we might still have to use his account.
Right.
If somebody started a different one, I don't think Tonto's would carry you.
I feel
over.
like there's a way if you're commissioner you can give another person commissioner privileges or whatever.
That's what I have.
Oh, okay, so then we could still continue using his account, and let's say that Detling is back into the commissionership, and then he could just share it with Detling, right?
Yeah, but it would still have to start from Jimmy's account.
I don't think it'd be a problem. I don't think he would care unless he's going to end his Yahoo account, which I doubt he's going to do.
No, but somebody else would have to be, or else he would have to at least make someone the assistant commissioner to begin every season.
Gotcha.
It's a quick, easy way to switch it over, you'd think. I'm sure.
I mean, I'm just bringing this up as a thought. I haven't looked into it
So
at
you're
all.
saying if Jimmy steps down from being commissioner and basically dissolves the league?
It sounds like it. Because if Craig doesn't do his recaps anymore, then I'm not going to do a podcast.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just making that up.
And if you don't do a podcast, I'm not going to play.
And if you're not going to play, then the world's going to end. So, Delling, what are your thoughts on the commissioner, future commissioner?
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah, because obviously it was one of your unfinished.
It was.
Your last unfinished business.
So, as you know, I threw my hat into the ring. And then Jimmy recommended Justin and Gags. And I started thinking. I said, well, if I was the commissioner, I said, I don't think it would be possible for me and Craig to work together.
Oh, why?
Because from a fantasy perspective, no offense, Craig, I hate your fucking guts.
How can you not take offense to that?
His fantasy.
There's a
Your fantasy guys. Oh, okay. Not his real guts.
It's like a real person.
coach of the Springfield Isotopes.
Yes.
He loves Craig.
Like,
Gotcha.
like in every fiber of my being, like, it just like drives me mad sometimes with his like banter or his arguments, and he can press my buttons some ways that other coaches can't. And then, so I started thinking about that, and I'm scared that if I was the commish, I think my hatred from a fantasy perspective would boil over into the real life with Craig, because he would be the assistant to the commish, and we would have to, and he'd be calling me.
He might be stepping down.
Well, yeah, I know,
Breaking news.
but breaking news. This is all breaking news. So after thinking about that, although Abraham Lincoln did have a lot of people in his cabinet that he did not agree with, that helped him make decisions but he wanted other opinions. But still, with that being said,
Got him
freed slaves.
dead.
he was. Everybody dies.
Yeah, but he also got elected into the wrestling Hall of Fame in 1992. So
Did he really?
he's a Hall of Famer. He did. Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler?
I honestly didn't know that, but I'm not
He was a
surprised.
vampire slayer.
I did know that. I did know that.
I read that book. It was good. Saw the movie.
Book was good. Movie sucked.
Yeah.
He was a heel. He was a strong heel.
Strong heel.
Yeah, in wrestling
Wow.
at first.
All right.
I love how you're using the word heel. People don't know what you're talking about, but I know what you mean.
I know what you're talking about.
What is it?
It's a wrestler who's like always getting beat.
No,
Like, what is it?
that's a heel is a bad
villain.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like,
crowd loves to hate.
okay.
That's definitely Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in wrestling, when he was in the professional
Right,
wrestling,
right,
When
yeah.
he was in when he started out in WWF, he was a heel. He just came out in a stovepipe hat
Nice.
and a pair of cutoffs.
I love it.
And he carried an axe to the ring, and sometimes he would go to use it, and the ref would grab it and like give him like a no. Yeah. It was good. It was good. You should look for old YouTube videos.
Oh.
They're very good.
Yeah,
Most of them are
Use
black
the
and
folding
white.
axe.
The folding axe.
Man.
One day, they were doing a wrestling show at I think it was somewhere in
Illinois?
somewhere in DC, like I think Ford's Theater, I think it was. And he was wrestling. He was like more of an actor, and he kind of came in. He was a jobber up until this point, and his name was J.W. Booth, I think. I think, yeah. And he came in, and it was a cheap shot. Like it was like he was coming down to the ring with his girl Mary Todd.
He never saw it coming.
He never saw it coming. He just came back. Came right behind him. Right behind him with the folding chair. It was. I think it had barbed wire or a pistol. It had a pistol. It was a folding chair with a pistol on it. And he came up with that and just hit him right in the back of the head.
The pistol accidentally went off.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And then
Literal history.
Booth was killed by everybody in the crowd.
Yeah.
Because they were so mad
Well-
that you took away their fans.
He, John Wilkes Booth, ran from a theater and hid in a
Barn?
warehouse. And later, another wrestler would run from a warehouse and hide in the theater.
Wow. I wish you were my history teacher.
Drunk history.
Yeah, I wish you were my teacher. That'd be great. All right, so Deli, continue. That's just a small little
What
tangent.
were we talking about?
Commissioner.
Yeah, I said Craig could be my cabinet.
That's right.
Although I don't agree with his opinion, I value it.
Okay.
But so with that all being said, I respectfully pull my hat out of the ring to be commissioner.
All right. Do you
And-
nominate?
Your stovepipe hat.
My stovepipe hat, yes. And I was with the nominations. I do feel that the nominations should be by Jimmy, should be heavily considered.
Okay.
And he did Gags and Juddy. And I thought Juddy would be good, but then I thought to myself, oh, Stranger Things, nice.
Yeah.
I thought to myself that the Kitchen of Love might be testy at times.
Oh, yeah.
With the two of those guys in there. And then I thought maybe, and I also liked Gags. I kind of like the Eastern-Western dynamic that we had going on as far as two sides. And I mean, Gags is the is what it is guy. So he'd be like, "This is it." Nobody arguing. No, this is it. It is what it is.
It would be interesting if Gags was the commissioner. I mean, he's the youngest player in the league, and in terms, I don't know about age wise, but in terms of his tenure until his demise, what is this, like his 5th year maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah. So 5th year and becomes the actual commissioner. That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty
He's
crazy.
only been here a third of the time. So
And if we disagree with him, I don't know about you, but are you going to step up to him, man to man, face to face?
face to face, but that's why we're on the other side of the state.
in the draft.
Yeah. And he shows up. He shows up.
Is what it is shirt.
Yeah.
Without sleeves, and you'd be like, dude doesn't even lift. He's freaking Hulk.
All he does is pick locks, so don't you can lock yourself in any room, but he's gonna get you eventually.
He's like, you might as well enjoy your time in there because when I get in there, it's on.
Yeah.
You just hear the tick, 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 tick.
So you're saying he would rule with fear?
No, he wouldn't do by fear, but still, even by not rolling with fear, he'd still fear him.
I would support Jut, or Gags.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. But would there be collusion in the Kitchen of Love? Would it be called the Kitchen of Collusion?
Kitchen of Collusion. There probably would come up sometime that the subject would come up.
Yeah.
It would just be collusion, but spelled with a K-O-L.
So Jut, what's your take on all of this?
I don't know.
Also,
Great
another
take.
thing is, I don't think I've ever seen Justin in a position of leadership before,
That's true. Maybe it's time.
even in his own house. I mean, he literally gives the paycheck to Sarah.
No.
And Sarah gives him $50 gambling money every 5 months or something.
No.
He gets an allowance.
He gets an allowance, yes. I mean, you cannot deny that I've seen the paycheck in a Ziploc bag just handed to you.
In a Ziploc bag?
It was the one.
Why would it be in a Ziploc bag?
She's incredibly organized.
She tries.
All right.
So
Jut, how did you feel about being nominated by the commissioner?
It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. But I do agree that I do like the East-West dynamic.
Yes.
So that would have to change it. I'm not going to be. I don't think that I should be in charge of keeping scores if Craig would actually want to step down.
No, hell no. I mean, we'd have to figure something out because
Like some sort of autistic Rain Man to take care of that if Craig doesn't want to do it.
we'd have to hire somebody out. We have to subcontract that out.
I mean, Bigler kept scores before.
That's true. Maybe
You and Craig, were these guys used to bounce off each other?
When he would do it, and I just started just to keep track and just make this double check and make, because we were doing it. He said Yahoo was never actually right, so we had to make sure that everything was correct. So I just started to do it out of my spare time just to double check and make sure that everything was on the up and up.
Well, that is another point. Everyone keeps complaining. We could just go and make this a vanilla Yahoo league and have all their points and go completely off that. I mean, we're already halfway there, giving all the running backs all their scoring.
That's right.
Yeah. Then all we'd have left is So I take you're not in agreement with that, are you?
Not totally. I like
Me neither.
the scoring. I like the way we are.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the running backs too, but not a rule I voted for.
Neither did I.
Who did? I didn't vote for it either.
I think we might have been the 4 dissenting votes.
Maybe, but I said I would have gone for a half PPR, but I never said full, and I know we got full.
I think no one at this table voted for that, so we have a biased opinion here.
But the real question was, did you vote for the Iraq War?
Oh, yes, actually I did.
Okay. That's the one thing that always comes up in politics. Did you vote for the Iraq War?
No.
I thought you did. Okay.
No.
He
Correct.
might not have voted for the Iraq War, but just wait until that photo pops up of Detling pretending to grope. Was it Salma Hayek?
There's somebody I was going to pretend to grow up. Salma Hayek would definitely be one of them.
It's only a matter of time until that picture pops up.
It's actually Danny DeVito.
Oh.
I mean, I'd grow up Danny DeVito too.
So to summarize this conversation, it sounds like it's more muddled than when it began, with Craig potentially stepping down from his role, and a lot of different names in the hat. How should we figure this out? Like, should we do it by a vote? Do we think we should just let Jimmy nominate the next person, just saying who he chooses is the commissioner?
No, I think you should choose 2 to 3 people, and then the league votes on it.
Say we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Last place has to take care of the scores next season.
That works for me. I don't know.
Who's in last place right now?
It could be
Jimmy Craig?
Craig.
Could be.
Could be Craig.
If I was fortunate enough to receive the commissionership, I would probably still do all that stuff myself. But if everything changes hands, then so I'm not 100%, but I've been thinking about the possibility of stepping down those and letting someone else do that. I'll still as everybody should, they should do their own scores. You should double check your own scores, but just every week taking care of it, it might be time for just maybe something different.
I haven't checked scores since 2010.
I don't think you checked them in 2004 to 6 either. 7.
Probably right.
This goes out to Justin and Craig since they're sitting here. Everybody knows where Detling and I stand on the whole trade controversy / trade deadline, all that IR crap. So I'm just curious where Craig and Justin stand. I personally want to see the trade deadline moved up to week 9 or 10 at the very latest, because I want this IR crap. I want all the IR trades eliminated. I think
Why, Brian? You seem to do pretty well.
I know. I did. Hey, I learned from the best.
You did better than me.
I know. I learned from the best, and then I won.
Yeah. You also got Alex Smith.
I know.
As your quarterback in the
I
future.
won up to you. So I would have never. But here's the thing: I would have never made that trade had you not made the first trade. I really wouldn't have. But I got to keep up with the Dellings. So anyway, I really think that we need to move the trade deadline up to eliminate.
How would that change it? How would moving it up change?
You make it to a week 9 deadline. Every team is pretty much in it. It's very unlikely, because it would be like at the end of week 8. It's very unlikely that a team is going to be 0-7, even like 1-6. It usually
Craig was 0-4 or what?
Yeah, I know.
0-4
No, teams always start out that way, but then you usually end up like 3-3, 3-4, maybe 2-5. But I don't think a lot of teams are just going to be like, I'm 3-4. I'm just going to cash in on next year. I think a 3-4 team is going to keep on playing to potentially make playoffs. They're not going to fold and like try to like just play for the future. They're going to try and stay in that season. Stay in the season you're playing in. Don't play for the next season. That's how I feel about it. So I'm curious how you guys feel about it. If you're okay with how it is, and if this is the new norm, this is the new norm. Bless you.
2, 3,
3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. 11.
11. Almost a dozen. Almost a dirty dozen.
His nose is starting to bleed, I think.
That was I think that was 3 napkins.
That was a Stranger Things joke.
Nice. All right. So, how do you feel about it, Craig? Like, do you like it how it is? Do you think it make some changes?
I think the points that I've already made about it, I don't. The trade deadline where it is, I think, is pretty good. You still have three weeks left in the regular season. And it's just part of being in a keeper league where these kind of things are going to occur. We said a lot of people might not like it. 12. But said it's difficult because you're trading people who are injured and there's no guarantee. So there's no guarantee. Deshaun Watson just got hurt halfway during this season, and you made it a trade for somebody. It's like if you traded for him, there's no guarantee that he's going to be ready at the beginning of next season. I think it's very risky to begin with trading for people who are on the IR. I mean, even Dalvin Cook. I know he got injured real early in the season. Is he going to be ready at the beginning of next year? It's never a guarantee when these guys are coming back from injury.
Look at Andrew Luck.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's just like I said, it's just part of being in a keeper league where we're gonna have these things happen,
Jesus.
whether we like it or not. Is Gags, did he really throw in the towel this year?
He beat Jimmy.
Yeah, he turned around and won the next week. So it's
Probably gonna be
it's
bigger.
hard to make an argument that he gave up on his team, even though he did trade some key pieces. If anybody should be angry about it, it would be like just you, Brian, or Justin, who are already in the playoffs, and you're watching other teams take advantage. It's debatable taking advantage of maybe one of the lower teams and stocking up their roster for the playoff run. Getting somebody like Travis Kelce gives you a better chance.
Right.
No, it's not a guaranteed chance, but it's tough to watch to be one of the other playoff contenders, and there's really nothing that you could do, and somebody else got stronger without giving up anything. Yeah, that's a frustrating part of it, but that's just part of it. So
you want to kind of keep it the way it is, and it's just part of the league.
I don't really care for it, but I understand that it's just part of having the keeper league.
Yeah, I mean, so if the team on the bottom is shopping Travis Kelce, are we supposed to just say no?
Well, that's what I'm trying to eliminate, the whole shopping aspect.
Still gonna shop it. Don't matter if it's week 10 or week 9.
Well, right now it's week 11. If you bump it up to week 9, there won't be as much shopping.
Yeah, but you're saying the probability of somebody starting 0-7 or something like that, or 0-6, is high, or not starting.
Right.
But when it happens, and then that person trades, so and so star for this person, what are you gonna be like? We should make the trade. Bump it up. Get the hell out of here.
No, I think I'd
Why
be
don't we
okay
just
with
not
it.
have trades at all? Let's just make it gladiator fantasy football.
I think I'd be okay with it because it'd just be like that once in a blue moon, once every like 12 or 13 years that it happens. It's not gonna happen every year, every other year.
The problem is that all these trades are occurring with people who are hurt, and it's playing for the future. You're not
Right, that's
trading
what I'm-
players.
yeah, right. That's what my
right
problem
now.
is, playing for the future.
I mean,
Any comments?
It's just a classic case of, taking advantage of the little guy. It's just like I'm just doing the same thing that the Americans do. I'm just doing Donald Trump in the league. That's all.
I would not want to be associated with Donald Trump.
But you are, Brian. But you are.
Stelling's just playing the game.
Yeah, I'm just playing the game, and you played the game
I
too.
know. I said I could either sit on the sidelines and cry about it or play the game. I chose to play the game.
If I'm understanding you correctly, you're trying to say don't hate the player, hate the game. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're getting
right.
at?
saying.
And I'm saying
Somebody write
let's
that.
let's change the game. That's funny.
Brilliant. I think I might get a tattoo of that.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
And I don't want to hate the player. I want to change the game.
I
Do you know how hard
like
it is
it.
to change the game?
I do.
I like it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's got to be something that we can do to prevent something like this happening. I'm not sure what it is.
That's always the problem.
There isn't.
That's always kind of the problem that comes up with these rule changes that we make, is that, and again with like the talked about in the past, the quarterback rule. We make the rule and think, but there's always these little intricacies that come up and possibilities that you don't plan for when we make these rules, and then something like this comes up, and we're not prepared
Right.
to deal with it, the response.
Right.
And then we're like, what do we do? And here we are debating it.
I mean,
Boom, baby. Shocked ya.
hey, that's fine. That's fine. If this is going to be the way it is, then every year, if I am in the playoff contention, then I'll stock up.
I mean, you just had to go be a baby, Brian. That's all it was.
Trust me, I'm not the only one who feels the way that I feel.
Really? Because you're the one that talks about it the most.
I wish Bigler was here right now. I wish Josh was here right now.
I think Justin and I have talked about it before. Like, we could give teams an IR spot.
Yeah.
So if you have a player who is on IR, you can put them in there, and they won't doesn't count on your roster.
Right. You can still, it's just an extra
Well, what do you do
spot.
when you have like 5 people on IR like Detling's team?
Like Craig, yeah.
Right.
I think another interesting thing we could maybe do is maybe have that. What would it be? Like the number 7th or 8th spot, like first one out from the playoffs. Like maybe that spot's guaranteed, like one of the top 5 spots in the draft next year.
Some kind of a lottery or
some kind
something.
of a lottery just for that one spot. That way, people are incentivized to keep fighting for that to try to get like maybe the number 1 pick.
I mean, I wouldn't be against that.
If we could figure out a way to make that
Here's what I think.
kind of fair.
If I had thought about this, so you split the league into 1 to 6 and 7 to 12. 7 to 12 is still randomly picked, and what that means is the people from that finished first. So what 7? Yeah. Between 1 to 6, it's a team who finishes 6th the year before gets the first pick, and so on. 5th becomes 2nd. That way, that team is still competing. Those 6 teams are still competing for the right to draft first overall. That way we don't have something happen like when Craig was number 2 years in a row.
Shouldn't the top 6 finishing
Yeah,
teams
1 to 6 would
next
be
year be
random.
the
7 to
be
12.
the 7
The
to
7
12?
to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I think you said it differently.
backwards.
Yeah.
No, I said teams that finished
You said 7 to 12 would still be picked randomly.
randomly, but those are the people.
1 to 6.
But they would be the first.
Oh,
6
you mean the
finishing.
Yeah.
spots in the draft?
Yeah.
Would be random. I gotcha.
But the,
Yeah,
the-
something like that.
so
I would support that. I don't think that's going to change playing for the future. I think people are still going to play for the
Like I
future.
said, we could just not trade anyone who is on the IR, at least during the season. Once the season ends, you can make those, mid after season draft pick trades or whatever, player for player, player for draft picks. We could just make it so in season you can't trade someone who is on the IR.
Yeah, and I personally feel if we're going to keep it the same way, then I think we should be able to play for the future completely, trade away draft picks during the season as well. If I want to go for somebody and give up my first round pick, I can do that. Just open it up and just trade and play for the future.
it won't work.
Well, it's the same. Works the same way.
I played a league like that, and the guy had 4 first-round draft picks the next year,
Yeah, they bargained for it. They shopped for it. They traded for it.
like right away.
What's that?
They just traded all their players right away. Be like, next year I got 4 first-round draft picks. You know what happened? Everybody said we're not playing next year.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen in our league. I don't think.
I did it.
You were the person who did it.
I was one of the people. No, I was one of the people that said I'm not playing next year.
I thought you were the one who got the 4 first
No, I
round.
don't want to play next year. It's not
Yeah.
fun.
He says that once a month, though.
I know.
Not really.
I know.
What?
I'm not playing next year.
I did not say that. Also, if you, like I said, if you're going to make those rules, hey, we're not, everybody, you're not allowed to split the, what do you call it, knockout.
Always back to
I love it. I love it. I'm
You've taken advantage, you're thinking, you're like, Delta, you're taking advantage of it 1 year. Brian, this is the 3rd year you've taken advantage of this. And people bitched and called you a pussy.
but I'm $90 richer.
by people.
You are-
Yourself.
Yeah. You are $90 richer, but you're also the guy that has like the body of a man that should be dancing in a gay club. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Drink your coffee.
You Detling?
I said there's one person out there that agrees with me.
Who's that?
I can't tell you. I just know for a fact. And he's probably laughing right now.
Bigler.
No, it's not.
Bigler and I probably have the same body type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Bigler.
It's probably Jimmy.
Don't. You're not gonna start.
I
naming
mean
everybody.
Gags.
No, I'm not telling you anything.
Oh, tree size. Yeah, he would say that.
I think you're thinking of Vanilla Jeff.
Vanilla.
Jeff, nice.
He was definitely the guy.
All right, that's enough of that. I think everything's gonna stay the same, and I'll try to make a rule change, but I don't see it going anywhere, and that's fine. Because I'll play by the rules that we have. It's all about the Benjamins.
Baby.
All right, so do you want to pull up the actual picks here? That's all right. We're kind of doing this on the fly. It's only about 2:30 in the morning here. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So the big pickup of the week was Devontae Booker, and I think how much did you pay, Detling?
I paid $68.
$68. Was that all of your money?
It was all my money. I blew it. Blew my wad.
Blew the what? All right. And what was your thinking? What was your rationale behind that?
My rationale was so before I have been looking at Booker for like 3 weeks, seeing he's been performing pretty decently. Before, because it was C.J. Anderson, Jamal Charles, and Jamal Charles was starting to get a lot of carries or splitting them evenly. Then he kind of fell off the woodwork, and Booker started taking over a little bit. And my theory or my thought process was, I wanted Alex Collins, but I didn't pick him because I waited. Oh, wait a week, Justin swoops in and gets him. I wanted I wanted Deion Lewis. Justin swooped in and got him. So. Basically a couple of running backs, more than one, and a couple other ones I won. I just waited too long.
Yeah.
And I was just.
That's one of the beautiful things about our league. You see somebody, you cannot wait.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to go get them because somebody is gonna pick them up.
And now, even with the Fav thing, it makes it even more apparent because with the waiver wire, if you were number one. If somebody got the one, you could just hold on and be like, well, I'll just wait. And then next time,
That was you.
You were guaranteed to get them.
That was you.
Well, you did too as well.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm saying that you were able. You didn't get that one guy. You were able to get the next guy.
Yeah.
But the Fab thing makes it, and we're all rookies at this, so we're completely new and wondering like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And as you can see, like what was
You spent $200 on AP.
Peterson, yeah, or $100 on
$113 on Rashard Higgins.
That's it. Yeah. And so I was thinking, so I looked at Booker and I said, I need a better running back. My running backs are shit. I'm trying to grasp at straws, and this looks like he's actually consistently producing. I just need rushing yards. I don't need receiving yards like Joe Mixon or Kenyon Drake or whatever. But my point was, I just said, I don't know if you said it to me or somebody else, but it rang true in my ears. If you don't spend all your fab, it's a waste.
Yeah, I heard that on a podcast.
Okay, so that's what I heard. That was playing in my head, and I was like, well. I looked at the people who had. I knew you had 58. I was like, I don't have to worry about you. 88?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Positive. Because now I'm down to 80.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody else had 58. But, anyways, there were people I wasn't.
Fives look like eights?
Maybe. Whatever, Brian. But people I thought had the more money than me, I didn't think they were going to go for them. And the people that had a little bit more, I was a little worried.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just going to blow it all and see what happens. And I didn't think twice about it. And I was actually surprised that I got him. I thought
Do you think somebody would outbid you?
$1.
Yeah.
Because I knew
Bigler has a lot of money.
Yeah, I thought somebody would price is right me.
All right. Craig, what's your take on all that?
Speaking of prices writing you, I have also been watching Devontae Booker for quite a while, and I also went through all the people's fab budgets earlier and went through and saw that I had more than I think. The only people who had more fab than me was, I think, Brian, Jimmy, and the two Jims. And so and the highest other one was Detling at 68. And so all this past week, I had a fab bid for $69 on Devontae Booker. And the worst part about it is, even last Sunday, before the Broncos played at 4:30, I was thinking to myself, I should pick up Devontae Booker. I should just pick him up.
Just
to pick him up. And just like I said 2 minutes ago, if you want somebody, you gotta go get them because when you have the chance, because someone else is gonna get it. And then last night, said probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking at it again, and I'm thinking, there's no way that I'm looking at the free agents, like there's no way that Detling is gonna spend all his fab money on one guy because he's in the playoffs. He might need it somewhere down the line. There's no way he's gonna spend it all. And so I dropped it from $69 down to like $50. I thought I should be able to get him here at $50. There's no way Detling's going to spend it all. And of course, so then I could put in a bid for somebody else that I was looking at. I thought I'll get both of these guys, and then that'll be all of my fab money. Yeah. But I'm okay with that at this point. If I need to pick up somebody, I should be able to pick up at least someone for free somewhere down the line. And so, of course, this morning, the fab transactions go through, and Detling spent his $68. I would have prices righted him on Devontae Booker, and he got him, and I was the second highest bid, and I did not get him, and I've been frustrated about it all day long.
Which is rare that I think that I get to frustrate Craig.
Yeah. I put in 35. Did you put anything for him?
I think I tossed all my whole 28 at him.
Okay. Yeah, and I didn't think I'd get him, but I was like, you know what? I'll take him at 35. Yeah.
But again, I think the
Because
hardest
he's there.
part was, like I said, last Sunday. I was ready. I was on finger on the trigger, so ready to do it, and then I was like, "No, I'll wait and see how." I was going to drop Rod Smith from the Cowboys. Like,
You wanna see how he
just
does.
wait and see how he does. Wait and see how he does. I'll be able to get him next week. And again, I've learned this lesson over and over again in this league.
Clearly, you haven't.
Well, clearly I haven't. But when you see somebody that you want, you gotta go get them right
Yeah.
away, or someone else is gonna scoop them up.
You heard it here.
And the
go
other
ahead.
the other
Other
people were OJ Howard for $45, which Craig got.
Yep.
And was the other guy that you wanted
OJ.
to make a bid on?
Yeah.
OJ. Jeez. I didn't even think about that, but
kidding.
yeah, you're right. And then Casey Keenum, Brian for $8. Yeah.
$8.
$8.
He gets consistently 45 to 50 points a week. Figure he's a good backup.
Does he really?
does.
If
Damn.
he still keeps, if he's
Still
Yeah.
Keeps
still
his job.
Teddy Bridgewater.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, he's worth $8 on my bench.
Which I want to tell you, if Teddy Bridgewater does start, I don't think your Adam Thielen is worth shit.
Did you see a 65-yard
what I'm-
receiving touchdown last week?
It was with Casey
It-
Keenum.
yeah, I know. It was like a 8-yard pass, and Thielen just burned
Yeah,
everybody.
but I am telling
Bridgewater-
you
hey.
right now, Bridgewater
Makes that 8-yard pass, and Thielen makes that 60-yard run.
That 8-yard pass. He does not. He goes for Stephon Diggs or Kyle Rudolph. I am telling you right now, Thielen will be reduced to half of what he is if Bridgewater starts.
The thing about OJ Howard too is, and kind of Devontae Booker is, I'm kind of at a crossroads where I still have a playoff chance, but I also want to stock up my roster into the offseason with people who I think have potential for next year.
Yeah, it's like
So,
a balance.
Yeah, you got.
Well, getting back to Thielen, the one thing I do know about him is he plays really well in taunted bowls.
Wow, you're such a dick.
Wait, I didn't think he played it.
Oh, that's right, he doesn't.
He watched.
bigger dick.
He watches from the side.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I had to. You're gonna attack my player? Don't you attack my player?
Player
Yeah.
first, Brian. I should have
Well,
picked him.
hey, you should have traded for him too.
Hey, you tried to trade him for
I
Joe
know.
Mixon.
Hey, you turned it down.
It's probably the worst thing I did all year.
All right. Anything else we're talking about?
Who's worse, Adam Thielen or Brandon Jacobs?
We shall see.
No, it's Brandon Jacobs. It's Brandon Jacobs.
Unless he pulls a repeat on that. We shall see.
It will not. That's another. What do we got time here?
Well, they both.
All right, here's another
they
thing.
both cost you a Tauntaun Bowl, didn't they?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yes,
Like Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs is the worst because I didn't do it to myself.
Yeah.
Jimmy has been crying about his team lately, and this is now we're to bring this. So this is like unfinished business, but it's not. Jimmy, you're crying because you have he makes the playoffs or his team just shits the bed every year. I believe he's been in the playoffs, but I don't care about that. What I'm trying to say is, Jimmy, you feel like you're feeling pain now because your team consistently sucks at the end of the year. Try losing 3 Tonto Bowls, okay? The first one when Kevin Bean beat me, I was playing 20. I was so mad. I was playing $20 blackjack, losing my shirt in Vegas when I didn't even have money. Okay. Second one, who else beat me? Brian beat me. You can ask Bigler. I was in so much pain. It was disgusting. Like we were together, and Bigler felt bad for me. I was just bitching about Brandon fucking Jacobs the whole time. I can't take it. And the last one with Gags. Come on, Adam Thielen. Are you kidding me? So Jimmy, you might think you feel pain, but you don't know what pain is. Man.
But he wants to know what pain is.
He wants.
He does.
Well,
He does.
there's a difference, man. I've lost the most. I've won 2 Tonto Bowls, but I've also lost the most Tonto Bowls.
All right.
And that's. Am I still recording? Testing.
Yes, you are.
That's another reason why I hate Craig's guts, because he doesn't know what defeat is. He has gotten 4 for 4. He's just gotten. I'm not saying lucky, but he has not lost the Tonto Bowl, so he doesn't know what pain is, man.
Neither have I.
Neither of you
Want to know?
want to know. But the thing is,
It's 5-0.
Craig complains about going 1-4 or 1-5 every year. Dude, you never lose a Tonto Bowl when you make it, okay?
This week's matchups. You nailed that. I mean, Deli shaking his head. I liked it. It was pitch perfect.
Pitch perfect.
Pitch perfect. Great movie. 9 out of 10. Just kidding. I've never seen it.
Patricia.
What'd you say?
My real name's Fat Patricia.
I didn't see the movie, so I don't know.
That's why I love
pretty
the New England games when they talk about the defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
His real name's Matt Amy.
It's very interesting.
Nobody's understanding.
Thank you for sharing that. All right, what's the first matchup, Delling?
Well, what's the matchup of the week?
We already know it's you and Craig.
Okay, well, then we'll start from the bottom.
Now we're here.
All right, the first matchup is going to be Disco versus from Gags to Riches.
All right, so you're the only one that's really looking at it right now because I don't have,
Yeah.
I can't have my phone out.
Where's everybody's phones?
I'm going to pause this for a second.
I was going to discuss your commitment issue.
All right, Delling. Oh, we are recording.
Your fucking life coach has been telling you for years.
That's going to be so random on the podcast.
That's what it was.
Oh, is that on?
All right, Delling, what do you think?
All right, Disco versus From Gags to Riches. Stafford versus Breeze. No, I got to go, and I'm going to pick... that's a pretty good matchup. Still going to pick Gags with the whole Breeze.
Well, I would, but he gave up on his team weeks ago.
Did not.
All right, I'm going to go with Disco and the strength of his receivers. Stafford's going to do pretty well on Thanksgiving, and Pittsburgh D is they're seriously going to put up some huge numbers again.
Maybe, but he has the New England defense versus Miami and Matt Moore.
That's true. It might even out.
So it cancels him out. Plus, he's got the greatest kicker in the league, Zerline, which is why he traded me Tucker. He's like, yeah, you can have the second best.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm still going Disco, and I think he
What about
makes
Scooches going up against San Francisco?
makes it 1 week closer to the playoffs.
Smooches.
Yeah.
Who is Smooches?
I don't know who Smooches is either.
Kissick.
Oh.
I didn't know that nickname. Is that an actual
Pretty sure
nickname?
Justin just gave that to.
No, it's from a podcast I thought you listened to. But maybe you haven't.
I actually stopped listening to podcasts 6 weeks ago because I feel I do better when I don't listen to them. I would have beat you if I didn't listen to freaking Matt Berry.
Why would you
Yeah,
listen to
you
Matt Berry?
never listen to Matt
I
Berry.
know, well, I let him get. He was in the head, man.
He tells you not to listen to him.
I know, but I did, and I might actually be contending with Brian and Josh for a bye week, but I'm not.
All right. Well, you still are.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Until I am, I'm not.
Well, you technically still have a shot
With
at
that
it.
attitude, you're
Yeah,
not going
that's
to
right.
be.
True.
All right. What's the next matchup, Juddy?
Next matchup is Shawshank Athletics versus friggin' Laser Sharks. So you got the Buns going against I don't know what to call Kevin right now.
The beans?
The Buns against the Beans. Why couldn't I think of that? I'm gonna have to go. I think Shawshank is gonna keep going here. I don't think. I think he's gonna. I think he is gonna lose one more this season, but I don't think it's gonna be against Keva.
I was thinking about disagreeing and maybe going with Kevin, just because Aguilar and Ertz were so bad last week. They're gonna bounce back and maybe have a big one this week, and that could carry him. Prescott had a tear. It doesn't get any worse than Prescott's week last week. He's got a tough matchup here. It's difficult to pick Josh when he's got. So this Kenny Stills is really hit or miss. He's playing Randall Cobb. Perrine against the Giants, so that could be a good matchup. And now he's got DeMarco Murray down into the flex, which is the spot where he usually needs to be because he's been getting most of his production from receiving, I think.
And he's got Greg Olson back.
And he's got Greg Olson back.
Most likely.
Jacksonville, I mean, those Buns are going to carry him, even though I think he is definitely weaker than he was before in the middle. Looking at some of Kevin's other guys. Marquise Lee, Darkwa. Said Ingram had a huge game last week. Will he do that again? I doubt it. So I think Josh is going to just barely squeak by in this matchup.
Giving this one to Josh.
And the next matchup, Delling, what is it?
It's Hillbillies on PCP versus the Mighty Midgets. Brian?
All right, and we've got second place going up against, what is Money Midgets about?
I think it's last.
He is last.
Dead last. But even though he's in dead last, I have to say he's put together a team that still can fight, and he has not given up on his team.
Are you kidding me? Are you really going to say that again?
All right. Looking up and down these lineups, he's got a respectable team, but I don't think that he's got a team that has like an AB, a Thielen, an Alex Smith, a McCaffrey, Oakland D going up against Denver. Now, I have to just quickly point out that never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be benching the Denver D going up against Oakland and playing the Oakland D versus Denver, but that's what I'm doing.
Who was the only team and actually has a record set by not having an interception this season.
I saw that. I saw that.
Crazy,
Yeah.
especially since they're
That's
like
why
that.
they just changed their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Isn't Alex Smith currently in a downward spiral?
He currently is, but he's ready for a rebound for the playoff push for me. Now, he is in a downward spiral, and that's why I've picked up some backups, and I'm hoping that he gets it back on track versus Buffalo. Phillip Rivers only needed 3/4 of play to demolish the Buffalo Bills. All right, so I think I take this down.
Oh, what is that? Your reason?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I love how you always like to say when your matchups, it's all like you mention all of your players almost.
I didn't mention them all.
Like,
No, you're
don't,
right.
don't say which ones you didn't mention.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
No. Looking over this, this is a very tough matchup here. I feel bad for anybody that has to play against you. You have a great team minus your quarterback and your defense. Basically, you got a lot of meat but no buns, Brian.
That's relatively fair.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Jimmy's got Funches and Newton going against the Jets. Pretty good. Cook could have a big play against Miami. Crowder is going to be a good man versus the Giants. Kamara versus the Rams. Rudolph, Henry, Bryant, defense. You see what I'm doing?
I do. You're
Yeah.
saying all of his
Yes.
team names.
Yes, I am. And the Washington defense versus the Giants. I believe that I think Jimmy's going to upset you here. And I think it's going to be on the strength of the Washington defense going against the Giants.
All
I
right.
think Paxton Lynch is going to win this for Brian.
I think so too, actually.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of rushing for the Denver Broncos and not many. I think it's going to be about game management.
I think it will be too. And I think it'll be low scoring, not a lot of
I
yardage.
think that Paxton Lynch
Yeah.
will win this for Brian.
Yes.
All right. Well, what are you doing interrupting my matchups here? Did I interrupt your matchups?
Hey,
I just want to point out that what you said about my team is true, both in fantasy and real life. I'm all meat, no buns. I mean, that's a fair point.
What are you
I mean,
talking about in real life?
That's a fair point. Like,
his
I
ass.
got no ass, but I got a huge dick.
Is it huge or is just the rest
I
of
mean,
you so small? that it
right.
makes it look
I
like-
mean,
Either or.
Optical illusion.
before Christmas.
All right, our next matchup is the Bad Luck Bears versus the Bad Luck Wolf Bears. And on to the next matchup.
Oh, Jimmy.
Just again, just keeping with tradition of the
That's right.
podcast,
That's right. You gotta
forgetting
skip
about
Jimmy.
Jimmy's team.
Some disgusting Huber on Huber action this week. Nobody wants to see that.
Any thoughts on this matchup, Craig?
Well, obviously both of these teams need this win. They're both in the playoff hunt, no matter how much Jimmy thinks the sky is falling. And I see a lot of questionables in Jay's lineup. There's Q's all over the place here. It's really, I think it's going to come down to the matchups for let's see who has the better matchups. Oh man. Oh, yeah, none of them look good. This is a coin toss.
Jared Goff versus New Orleans looks good.
Goff at home should have a bounce back.
Wins for Chicago.
Wentz. The only thing about
defense.
the Eagles now, they're playing defense and running the ball, which cost Jimmy the game last week. They could just keep that going.
See, the only thing Jay's got a leg up with Julio Jones and Devonta Freeman both going against Tampa Bay.
assuming Freeman is back this
Oh, he's
week.
got Mohamed Sanu in as well.
Yeah, he's been heavily.
He's a heavy.
He's heavy Falcons all year
So
long.
let's really hope that he does well with a lot of passes to Devontae Freeman as well, even from Mr. Matthew Ice Ryan. In celebration of his new twins, he's having twins.
wow.
Well, his
Oh,
wife
yeah,
is having twins.
congratulations, Matty Ice.
Yeah,
You're a proud uncle.
I'm a proud fantasy uncle.
I just think I am going to give it's a coin toss, and I'm going to give it to Jimmy because I would like to make our matchup next week a win or go home matchup. So he needs to win this one to make that that's halfway to getting that matchup for next week.
I'm saying I think it's going to be Jimmy, but I hope that Matty Ice has a good 70-point game, giving this one to Jay. But I think it's probably going to be Jimmy.
Get a little bit of juicy.
I'd like to also at this time give Boswell a ton of credit because their Steelers are not doing a ton of 2-point conversions this year, and Boswell has been nailing the field goals. I think he had 5 last game or something crazy. And Jimmy asked us to recognize it, so I just want to recognize it because I hadn't been paying attention to him really that much this year. But yeah, Boswell's a good kicker.
Hold on. I dispute that. The only reason Boswell's getting more field goals is because the red zone offense sucks for Pittsburgh.
Well,
They're
yeah,
horrible.
they
So
are.
if they were scoring touchdowns, Boswell would still be ineffective. So it's because the Steelers are underperforming that Boswell is somewhat relevant.
Well, the point is that Boswell makes the field goals.
Yeah, that's never been a problem. He makes them. He
he
just
makes
never
them.
has chances.
40 yards, 50 yards. It's another reason the Steelers suck, Brian.
Did you see last week the Steelers are back on track? And he did have some field
One
goals.
game doesn't mean they're back on
They're
track.
back on track.
They're not going for those 2-point conversions
Yeah.
anymore all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, sorry, when you got Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant, you shouldn't be 31st in the league.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, no Carolina Panthers. Matchup. Let's rabble. The next matchup is Possum Magic versus FC Bohoric. Breaking news. If Justin Bohoric wins the championship, he will have the FC Bohoric logo tattooed on his right butt cheek.
Did he say that?
He did. He was talking.
He said on his forehead. All right,
forehead.
fair
So,
enough.
Forehead. To cover up the hair loss.
He said that wasn't very nice.
Sorry, from one bald guy to a future one.
All right, Dowling, let's get back to the
I don't
matchup.
think you could afford the ink to
For it
get
to cover my head.
on your.
We are sitting in his dining room.
We are.
Let's not
Eating
offend
his
him too
pizza.
much. Eating his pizza.
Well, he's our stepchild.
Drinking my coffee.
He drank my beer.
We're
All
not
right.
talking about you.
All right,
okay.
looking at the matchup.
His wife liked it. She laughed.
She did. She was
My
giggling.
hands.
All right, I'm going to give this matchup to Jut. Tree Sice, he's cobbled a team together, but
He gave up on his team, Brian.
he cobbled a team together.
Gave up on his team.
He
Just
gave
say it.
He gave his team a chance to live.
He gave up on his
team long before the trade deadline.
Yes.
So what is going to
That's a very
moving
good
the
point.
trade deadline going to do anything?
All right.
Tree gave up in week 5.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
You started it, Brian.
No, I
You
did
did.
not.
I
I
had to-
finished it.
I just played the game because you played it first.
What are you talking about? You're the one who made the first trade.
Sean McCoy.
Chris Hogan.
I had to
Hey,
get stronger.
That was not the same thing.
That
You
was
should have brought
basically the same
brought
thing.
that up whenever we were talking about the trades. I'm gonna give this to Keenan Allen, Alshon Jeffrey. Hunt's got to get back on track eventually. Buffalo was completely crushed last week, so I think that Jut is gonna take this down. Yeah, Tree just doesn't have enough to get it done.
Well, looking up and down this lineup, Brian, I see that Tree has Jeremy Macklin,
Quality player,
Duke Johnson Jr.,
excellent,
Brian McManus.
not bad.
Not bad. All right. Conveniently, players from your bench are now starting. Right?
That is correct, sir.
Because he gave up on his team.
Hey, he made his team better than it was prior to our trade.
Because he gave up on his team and traded in LaShawn McCoy, which made his team worse.
He never gave up on his team.
He did, Brian. He gave up on it.
He was trying to improve the quality of his receivers.
You're so full of horse shit. Yeah, because he's starting Dontrell Inman.
Hey,
That's improving the quality of your receivers.
Hogan should be in there. He's
No.
hurt.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
he wasn't a valuable trade compared to
how many times do I
McCoy.
have to say this? Sell low, buy high.
Yeah, well,
What's
how
the
many
going
times do I have to say
backwards?
this? Suck it, Brian.
One receiver does not make a team there, Brian.
I know, but that trade was not giving up on the team.
Who's winning on points on our matchup?
All right.
You are. I'm
Uh,
giving this to Justin because he's a way better team. He never gave up. And he did a shitty trade with Bean in the first round that got him AJ Green and cost me AJ Green. And I'm still mad about it.
Get over it. It's part of a keeper league. Quit being a
It's
baby.
exactly the same
Quit
thing I
being-
can say to you,
hey,
Brian.
Quit
Get
being a
over it.
baby.
It's part of a keeper league. So thank you very much. There will be no rule changes next year.
You're not the commissioner.
If I am, no rule changes. It's set in
Don't
stone.
vote Detling.
Back in the race.
I'm back in. Vote for me if you want no change.
He is the Trump. He is definitely the Trump of our league.
What did you just do?
All right.
What did you just...
Jut made a change to his lineup.
Justin Morgan just changed his lineup in front of us. His projected point total is now 123.31.
I still go with Jut.
Do you with Chris Samuel not even playing? Curtis Samuel?
Yes.
You no.
He loves to mess with us right before we talk about his matchup.
That's right. And it's on the strength of Steve Hauschka.
And now, the matchup of the week.
That was frightening.
Yeah, I was kind of scared, not gonna lie.
All right, what is it, Jut?
It is Dumpspiro Spyro
Thank you.
versus
I don't remember another. Oh yeah, I guess it's
Springfield Isotopes.
That's right. You know Springfield. I said
That's right. This is the first time he's not the Springfield Isotopes. All right. So you guys want to take it first?
Breaking news. If Craig Kvisic comes all the way back and wins the championship, he will get a tattoo of a Skellahor isotope on his left butt
we
cheek.
got a tattoo of Emily too.
Nice.
Why don't you review my lineup and
On
I'll review
his
yours
dick.
there? That
I
way.
thought he was going to get a tattoo of Michael Rappaport.
Oh, that would be amazing.
He's gonna
With
get tattooed.
with a backdrop of a metro.
All right. Take it away,
Oh. We're reviewing. Okay.
Said, why don't you go over my lineup and I'll go over.
All right,
and I'll go
fair
over
enough.
yours.
All right. Well, I'm looking over your lineup. Your quarterback is less than ideal with Derek Carr. David Carr? Derek Carr?
Derek.
Derek Carr versus Denver. Where
Normally
they have a
scary.
no fly zone, so they should be the Marshawn Lynch show. Let's see here. Your receivers they're all of high quality. Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, both playmakers. Fitzgerald playing against Jacksonville. That should be questionable. Well, he is playing the slot. I don't know how their slot cover guy is, but we shall see. Your running backs. If Foreman plays, it's bad for Coleman. Jay Stu's my boy, so I can't go against him. Gronk's the man, obviously, playing against Miami,
Obviously.
Sounds like you're going to pick Craig.
obviously. And then you got Todd Gurley, the second. When did that happen? First, New Orleans. I love his projection, 21.21. Jigwatt Smarty. That's not it, but I like it. Prater's pretty good. Wish I would have got him. Then I would not have traded for Tucker.
Wish I wouldn't have dropped him.
Atlanta defense versus Tampa Bay. Fitzpatrick's decent, but he's not great. You got a good squad, which is fair because our point projections are pretty much almost even. 3 points off, which could go either way. And I'm just
Let's see what Craig has
Yeah.
to say about your team.
All right, for Space or Dumb Sparrow, Dumb Sparrow, we have Kirk Cousins, who has been either
still no respect.
35 points or 58 points this year. I'm gonna hope for a 35-pointer, but against the New York Giants, I think it's more likely a 58-pointer. Sure, it would be nice if I had Jordan Reed this week catching some passes from Kirk Cousins, but this has been a lost season for Jordan Reed. Receivers, Doug Baldwin, Sterling Shepard, and T.Y. Hilton. Doug Baldwin's been pretty consistent. Shepard, though, got to keep an eye on him. He is
pretty iffy to play right now with his migraines coming back from on a short week here. But you got a couple of people who you could plug in.
Amendola.
And T.Y. Hilton, the king. He's the other Deshaun Foster.
Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, yeah. Deshaun
I love that
Jackson.
you brought up Deshaun Foster.
Deshaun
That's
Foster.
nice quality.
Wow. Deshaun Jackson, light. T.Y. Hilton, hit or miss. Latavius Murray and Joe Mixon are your running backs. Murray had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns last week, so I think he's gonna have a quiet one this week. Mixon against the Browns. He might punch in a touchdown, but I don't see him getting too many yards there. Tight end is Ingram from the Giants, and then in the flex is Kelsey. So you got 2 tight ends. Ingram's been getting a lot of the targets. Kelsey is Kelsey. He's good for 16 to 20 points every week. Although I did think of this while Detling was talking about the other matchup. I think it was Jim, he said he's picking them because of the Redskins defense going against the New York Giants. But you're pretty heavily dependent on the success of the New York Giants this week.
That's true.
So I'm not sure what to make of that. I'm going to agree with your choice there of the Redskins. I'm going to be rooting for the Redskins defense in this one. And Tucker, he's money every week, and probably the only reason to be watching that Monday night game, Texans and Ravens. Ugh. And then finally, the Bengals defense against Cleveland should be a pretty decent point producer there. So yeah, those are the lineups, and I think I am gonna pick.
Oh, we're picking.
Of course.
Oh, I do.
We always do that.
I am going to pick again. I got to go with the Isotopes because I said I want that matchup versus Jimmy next week, where everything is on the line. That number 6 seed. I just want to see everything play out. So it is Kamish versus Co-Kamish. Win or go home. So I'm picking the Isotopes so that hopefully we get that matchup next week.
Okay. Hold on.
Craig thinks he wants it more than you. What do you have to say?
Well, I have to say I didn't know we were picking. And also, there probably will be some changes to my lineup. Most likely, maybe the Baltimore defense will play because every time I don't play them, they go freaking nuts. And even though it's Cleveland, it's also Houston. So I haven't made my decision on that one yet. But I think that I will pull this one out. And I got to say, there's nothing that would make me more happy than to put that last nail in Craig's coffin and kick it into the dirt and bury it myself and do 2 of the wins this year against Craig.
I want to hear your opinion on this matchup. I'll give you mine first. Definitely pull that back up. The one thing I find ironic about this matchup is that Detling is playing on the strengths of his 2 tight ends, which you would think that from the beginning of the year that would have been Craig. And he still has Gronk in there, but I thought he was going to be rolling with those 2 tight ends. I think your 2 tight ends are going to outperform his, obviously. But he's got Gurley there in the flex, who he's been pretty solid most of the year. I think it's going to be a really close matchup. I think it's going to be decided by probably fewer than 10 points. But I'm not because I went Craig out, but I think Dahling's going to take this down. I think Cousins has a big day, and I think whichever defense Dahling plays, he's going to probably outperform. Since Cleveland hasn't won a game yet, so play Cincinnati, they're going to do well. They're due. They're long overdue. Cincinnati's at home, so that's helping them a little bit. And then Baltimore against Houston. Either one of those I think are going to do pretty well. I think it's going to be a close matchup that I give to Detling, but it should be a good one. Judd, do you have any comments?
I think it'll be close. I think it'll be good. I kind of hope it's Craig just for the ramifications of next week being meaningful.
Yeah,
like I said before. But I think Detling's streak and the using to the best of his abilities the rules of our league, and a nice way to put it, getting Kelsey and for really nothing this season.
It's Kelsey versus Gurley.
What better matchup could you want?
That's a really good matchup
True,
there.
true.
It is.
Yeah, so I think it'll be good. I think Detling will squeak it out. I hope it's Craig.
I hope it's Craig as well, which Delhi might find surprising. I obviously want Craig out of the playoffs because I don't want to play him in the playoffs, but I also want that bye.
He hates you.
Hey,
Like, I don't even tell him something he says
that's
offline.
so funny. Hey, I want to bye more than I want Craig
Bye,
out.
bye.
Yep, and so if you lose one game, I get the bye. So please lose.
I like to say it's funny at these projections. Cousins is 47.47. Tucker is 9.99. And like I said before, 21.21. Gurley. It's just funny to look at some of these things and how ridiculous they are.
So it's an algorithm.
And look, it's 167.57 to 164.57. Like, what's the chances? But I also say I'm going to really enjoy watching. I like to watch Cousins play, and I've been able to see him play the last couple weeks and this week as well. And I made an observation. So if Redskins don't sign Cousins this next year, and Ben Roethlisberger retires, if the Steelers sign Cousins, they win the Super Bowl.
It's a good comment.
If the Steelers sign Cousins, where do the Steelers stand as your football team?
They jump back in it.
Oh, really?
Number one?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I feel like when the alleged rapist gets kicked off the team or retires, I think it's a good thing when you got a guy like Cousins that comes in.
Cancels out all of the other players that you mentioned before.
Well, I don't even think maybe Le'Veon Bell won't even be there as well. I think James Conner.
That's why I picked up James Conner, because I think there's a 50-50 chance Le'Veon Bell is not a steal
Right.
next year.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
point.
they would have to pay him more because it'd be the second year of the franchise tag.
I heard that James Conner got into some stuff this week where a large Austrian robot man came back and said he had to save him for some reason, and his mother, like from some other like melty like metal robot that yeah.
Wow.
Something about
I didn't
Skynet.
hear that.
I don't know.
Wow.
Some sort of
You
Skynet.
got an insider.
Yeah.
Insider.
All right. I guess before we wrap this up, anybody have final comments about like this week and the league in general?
I mean, it's touch and go here. There's a couple spots open, literally, for the playoffs, and people are trying to squeeze in there.
Yeah.
And I personally enjoy to watch it once from not being involved in it.
Same here. So
And-
I'll just say it real quick. I'm thankful to be in the playoffs without having to claw my way in. It's
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
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 Are we,
Clink, clink, clink.
Clink, clink. Are we doing things that we're thankful for now?
We can throw that in there as well.
Oh.
It is Thanksgiving.
Well,
Great feeling, guys.
It is.
It
We're
is.
trying to squeeze in there like Craig's turkey leg shape.
How could it be Thanksgiving when we don't bring up his penis more than once?
yes. I'm.
Get it right or pay the price, Brian.
There it is.
Ah,
Yes.
Wow.
I am still thankful for Kate Upton. I know we've been doing since the first thing. I've been thankful for Kate Upton. I mean, wow.
All right. Jut?
I'm thankful for my wife
Of course.
and my family
Yeah.
and all the time that I get to spend away from them.
With them?
No, I like to I like that they're there,
Yeah.
but like
In a different room?
that I'm not. Like I like that they
Exist?
exist, but I also like that spaces exist that are away from them.
Fair enough. So you're thankful for that?
I am.
And I am thankful for my wife and children, and that I don't have to spend any time with them either,
Or pay alimony.
or pay anything, because they don't exist.
Sarah, anything you're thankful for?
No.
Wow, she's not thankful for anything. Ouch.
Nope.
Ouch.
Oh man, I'm thankful for Sarah having us in her lovely home, and the new house looks wonderful.
What an ass kisser. I mean, can you see through that?
I totally can. I'm his life coach.
Are you kidding me? I've been genuine with Sarah my whole life.
He can't even commit to what he's thankful for.
I said Kate Upton.
But what he really meant was Kate Upton, but he's going to say being here for Thanksgiving.
You guys are dicks.
turkey leg shaped.
Turkey shaped like penis.
All right, you ready, Natalie?
I'm always ready, Brian.